Hello and welcome back to Kyo's Academy League in the last weekend of the tournament, the penultimate game coming up today. Joining me, we have Mikey and Kyo. Guys, how are you doing today?
Doing good.
Yeah, doing great. I'm excited for the games.
How are you feeling at the league? Are you happy it's nearly over? You're gonna miss it?
Well, to be honest, I'm gonna need a break, so I'm not too unhappy that it's ending. But there's gonna be more seasons, so don't worry about that.
That was going to be some of my questions. While I had you here, Kyo, some questions I did want to ask. Just I guess maybe about the past couple of weeks. Is anything in particular, any player, team that has really impressed you? Anything you recall? Some plays, or maybe how the teams have changed and adapted. Just give us your thoughts in the past 7 weeks.
Well, I think the one thing that really improved with like almost every team over these weeks, quite continuously, must be the drafting skills. Like in the games this week and last week, it honestly looked like Immortal and Divine teams drafting. It didn't look like Legend and below, so I'm really impressed by that. And also, massive shout out once again to Reinhardt. That probably impressed me the most. Reinhardt has pulled hundreds of hours of work into this league.
Just on the drafting, what exactly about it makes it stand out from
Right.
the MMR that these guys are ranked at compared to you saying it looks more like these high ranked teams. What exactly about the drafting um
Okay, so
makes
first of all, I started seeing clear strategies, which wasn't the case in the beginning. And I also saw them adapting a lot to the enemy's draft. For example, I think yesterday there was a game where one team first picked the Mars and then enemy team took the Phoenix away. Like that's a very notorious combo, and I think it also happened in one of the earlier weeks, but it didn't pick the Phoenix. They didn't pay attention to the combos that the enemy teams might have. But
so
yeah, it's
it's
mostly the clear strategy.
so coming up with a strategy before the game, coming into the game with that mindset, like we want to do this, we want to put the pressure the enemy team under pressure at these timing windows, and seeing if a certain hero gets picked, counter picking that or taking away maybe the synergy that team would be looking for. So that would be sort of in particular, those would be the sort of
Yeah,
points.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. So looking at the games we've got coming up today, we have Team 4 against the 9-inch males. Now Team 4, these guys lost the opening game of the tournament to GSX, but have come back really, really strong over the past number of weeks. And some people are sort of, there's a rumor going around with they want to have a rematch against GSX, maybe when the tournament ends. That's yet to be seen, but we'll try and keep up to date with that one. Now these guys as well, they've been wanting to throw in some variety. They want to see every single hero picked out of the entire pool. Do you know what's left that they could throw in today?
I don't know yet, but I'm checking on it right now. But I think they went actually through all of the heroes already.
I'm pretty sure they went through. I was here for last series, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they picked every single one of the heroes that were left then. So we'll see what they bring out now, I guess.
Okay, so maybe they'll throw in some unusual combos out if every hero's already been picked.
Oh, actually, there are 11 heroes which are uncontested, never banned, never picked. For example, Warlock, Visage, Shadow Demon, Gyrocopter, and Hoodwink.
Oh,
Well, I guess you can't pick
Hoodwink.
Hoodwink.
Yeah, Hoodwink's not available just
Yeah.
yet. Okay, so there's a few there which we might see come out. So we'll have to be watching for them. I guess in the terms of 9-inch males, they're sort of sitting around mid-table. They've won 3, I think lost 3 as well. They picked up wins against Devansh, Chicken Farmers, Feels Goodman, but yeah, struggled a bit more against sort of the higher ranked teams in terms of MMR. What advice would you give them going into the series today? Mikey or Kira, is anything you would advise them, if they're coming in, against one of these sort of high ranked teams?
Oh, sorry. I lost my train of thought.
You can say you have no idea as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, I guess. There you go.
Okay, well, we'll have to see what comes out. Do we know is the draft coming up? Are we almost ready to switch across to the draft? I think both teams were almost in place. Is anyone able to check on that?
Yeah, they're ready.
Okay, so should be seeing the draft come up soon. So we might get to see some of those heroes, which I think you mentioned, was it Warlock was one of them? Those unpicked heroes.
Yep. We gotta do one all-pick game, just for Hoodwink.
One what? Sorry.
One all-pick game, not captain's
All
mode.
picked till I hoodwink. Do you play any hoodwink yourself? Have you tried? Obviously, this is sort of the newest hero to the pool.
Not one time.
Not at
Really?
all.
I would have
No,
synced
never.
you as a hoodwink player.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
I really
mean,
like.
I don't know, if you're playing Invoker carry, what are you not playing, you know?
And
Techie's
Techie's mid. Let's not forget that. But I personally I really like hoodwink. I'm hoping to see with the Aghanim shard and scepter for us in, see what they add on to.
I hope a
Okay.
new ability, or a change to the ultimate somehow.
I mean, my suggestion was for the ultimate to give like true sight. Because at the minute it just gives like like normal vision. I thought if you if you give the ultimate the ability to see invis heroes, that'd be quite good. But maybe a bit too
Maybe
OP.
with the Acorn shot, or the net. Not the ultimate, I would say. Ultimate is like, you want to use it when you already have a target, not when you are scouting.
Yeah, the ultimate, just like the way it plays out, I think, as the hero's been experimented more, it's like the ultimate is really just like a follow-up big nuke.
Yeah.
And it has the additional
Like-
benefit of break, like it reveals Ricky, and like it's giving us like Tide Hunter and this kind of stuff, but
True. But like people started scouting with the Acorn shot, the tree, for like high ground vision on the cliffs. Imagine a shot would give the true sight.
yeah, it's kind of like the Void Spirit talent or something.
Yeah.
I say I really like her as a hero so far. I think I've got up to about 100 games on her. I think I'm sitting around 65% win rate, so not doing
Nice
too bad.
congrats. Okay, we do see an AA
Underlord.
ban, Techie span, Team Force, and a research. Underlord first pick though, Ethan again. I think didn't he win every game with Underlord?
Sure. LPM is in 9-inch males. What a traitor. Lion. Okay. Well, they have a lot of lockdown for this cop already. Not sure where cop's gonna go.
Yeah, must be support, probably.
I imagine they're not first taking their mid. But this cop can definitely die a lot. Like if you have Lion, especially if cop's not a core, is really easy to kill. IO. Are these guys playing core IO, or have they been playing support IO?
If memory serves correct, I think they did play a core arrow.
Yeah, I
They
definitely
have.
think that's the way to go. It seems a
But
lot stronger
they are
anyway.
just picking the like least picked heroes in the league.
Sorry?
Team Force committed to picking the least picked heroes in the league, or the
Alright.
uncontested ones.
Yeah.
So they always have some really wacky drafts.
All right.
But it looks like Nim is sticking to their comfort picks.
Monkey ban.
Yeah, I think the Juggernaut and the Mars plan, they make sense. Like, Mars is just a really good meta hero, and you already committed to picking Underlord, so you want to take it out of the pool. And of course, Juggernaut is very good against Underlord.
Yeah, some decent kill threat. Yeah. Hmm. Well, we're probably gonna see some kind of. Actually, never mind. I don't want to try to predict what Team 4 is gonna pick. I have no idea. But like their bans would indicate maybe some kind of like Tide Hunter-esque hero.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's what I would expect. But then these guys never pick what I expect, so not really sure.
Fair enough. Also, when you do go for the Underlord, you kind of... Well, Underlord is really good at defending towers, and very good at team fighting due to buying all these aura items. So, usually you want to get at least one very greedy core hero, like a TB, a Warden maybe.
Mm. Okay. Well, Venge can play around with the Dark Rift a bit with swap. I mean, it's probably not like the main reason they're picking her, but like this, they're very short on team fight on Team 4 right now, or like any kind of like they have a Quap ult, but if they just kill Quap, then it's gonna be hard to kill people maybe if the Underlord's in the fight. There's a lot of carries banned out.
They're banning assassin type of carries, I would say. But also when you play against these like really strong
Well, I mean,
fighters
I
like the
think
Underlord,
generally those are all probably heroes that they. Oh wait, no. Yeah, I mean maybe like I'm looking at like Drow maybe.
yeah.
Like
But then you maybe also need to
kind
ban the
of
PL.
makes sense. Yeah, I
So
suppose.
I mean, the weakness of Nine Inch Nails right now is that they have really strong heroes, but they're also slow. So you can maybe get away with mobility, get away with split pushing, perhaps.
Well, I mean, I don't think you catch up on team fight here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to play some kind of tempo, split pushing. Like you can't really just group up and fight them. I don't think.
Yep.
Unless like I mean, unless you have a significant lead, right? So you need to get a significant lead from somewhere. This Beastmaster could definitely get
Indicating,
pretty strong.
yeah, indicating the tempo that you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean it lets you like it gives you just a lot of pressure, right? Like it's not so straightforward for the enemies to just like group up or whatever, but it's like another hero that can split push like compared to like a Tide or whatever we talked about. It puts a lot more pressure on the lanes. And it's another like kind of team fighty hero, I guess I would say. But that's also not great into Beastmaster, right? You get the extra summons to absorb the beams. The lane is like the lane's probably fine.
Yeah. I mean, you have a 3 and it's like really
Yeah,
good later.
I mean, I really like Drow here for Team 4. Like Drow absolutely
Yeah.
shreds Luna.
I agree.
You get like a Manta and you don't
But,
really
but
die.
don't they maybe need some more frontlining? Or do they have enough saves to get away with the draw?
Well, I mean that is kind of the issue for them, right? But the enemy has like low range, slow waddling heroes. Like if you have a Drow with a swap, then it should be enough between like they have like a lot of kite, I think, but
Yeah.
it's really just gonna be for 9-inch males to get on top of them really, and they do not have great heroes to get on top of them.
So you wanna maybe see a Void Spirit of 9-inch males, right? Like somebody who can jump the backlines.
Well, yeah, Void Spirit can jump the back lines, but then what? Like he doesn't provide like he can disrupt the back line, but what they need is some catch. Void Spirit can catch, right? If you go like if you commit Yules plus Remnant, but then you're exposing yourself a lot. I don't know. I'm looking at something with maybe like a little bit more CC and not just silence. Like I wanna someone to let the rest of the team catch up because like unless it's tree and has a blink dagger, I don't really see how they like get to use their team fight right now. They have 30 seconds. Dragon Knight. Okay.
So
Use
maybe
the
just
Deuce
like
with
Deathball.
okay. Yeah, that's
running away.
it's pretty close to the Drow in terms of functionality, right?
Right.
It does more or less the same thing.
More mobility, adding more team fights. It's nice with the Beastmaster, nice with the Winch.
Yeah, I mean it's
Also with IO.
it's the frontline aspect, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like you
But
can kind of use your Medusa as a frontline, and then you have like all these buffer heroes, right? Like that's the strat. They have IO, they have Venge, they have Beast,
right.
and this Medusa is just gonna stand there and hit
It looks
people.
like it's a mid lane. I think it's a mid lane Medusa, by the way. Panda, I think he plays mid lane.
Okay, yeah, I mean that yeah they can lane those whoever
Right.
wherever.
So maybe the Dragon Knight has to like almost rush a Blink Dagger so that they have some
Uh,
catch.
yeah, but it like I mean he's gonna get it eventually, right? Like it depends
Right.
on when they want to fight. Like he'll bring the catch, but they have to decide when they want to fight. Because like if Dragon Knight gets Blink Dagger 10 minutes and then Luna doesn't want to get involved and Unlord doesn't want to get involved because they just want to farm, then maybe Blink Dagger's not so great.
Right.
I'm gonna have to ask you guys, right? Pick. Based on these drafts, who do you favor?
I want. I wanna say maybe 55-45 for Team 4. I do like the Medusa last pick a lot. It could be a pretty big raid boss with all these buffs.
I think Team 4 is gonna win.
Okay, so coaching panel favorite team four. Looks like we're going for a smoke gang, and with that, we'll pass you over to Sal and ZQ to take us through this opening game.
Thank you. Wow. She does use her fairy fire. Try to get away here.
It's looking spicy. It's looking spicy. It's looking spicy. It's looking spicy. It's looking spicy.
Where, or I'm not gonna die next week? Oh, right. Dire. And I promise, I promise it's not because of the kills. It's because I think they actually have a lot of catch. I know there was mention in the that they don't have a lot of catch, but Underlords is the king of catch. I think that Pit of Malice, you can cast it on anybody all the time, and then you have a Lucid Beam follow up. You've got a Lion follow up. There's a stun. There's a Hex, and then on top of all of that, there's the Treant Protector. And I'm talking even before the Dragon Knight. They've got so much catch. a lot of disabled. Queen of Pain's gonna have a rough time. I think I like their draft. However, however, you know, Medusa's always scary, so you never know what's gonna happen with that. If you leave her uncontested, then she'll do too much.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a lot of
my
damage.
mic setting was ruined, so we fixed that now. Sorry, guys.
All good. So yeah, they don't have a lot of damage to deal with the Medusa unless Luna really gets her farm. So that's really important as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting because like you said, the Dire, they've got some. I feel like they have a pretty cohesive lineup, and they could push the tempo pretty quickly while Medusa is still farming up. So we'll see if that happens. Nature's or Treant in the top getting harassed down a bit. All right.
A lot of trade as well
Yeah.
between the Lion and the Vengeful Spirit right now in the bottom lane. How do you feel about Avenge support? We don't see that too often.
It's pretty weak right now. After a while, it does what it used to do, right? Which is to have a swap for someone important on your team and provide an aura. But a lot of the numbers are just kind of weak relative to what the hero used to be, or at least compared to the meta. So I personally feel like super awkward trying to play the hero right now. But I mean, if you look at this draft, it does make sense why it fits here. So this might be a draft where it could still work.
Mm-hmm. And I see over here we have a Quelling Blade both on the Wisp and on the Venge. And Quelling Blade on the Venge, I suppose he's trying to do some pull techniques.
Could be.
I have a question for you, Z. What about Lion? We don't see that so often. Although I've been seeing him more in this patch, but last patch it was considered one of the worst supports. I've been noticing a lot of Lion picks, however, in my pubs these days. Is Lion getting stronger? Is it good now as a plus 5?
I think it's one of those things where everyone trash talks a hero for a while, right? Then so no one picks it, then everyone forgets about it, and then eventually someone starts playing it again, and like starts doing pretty well with it, and then they're like, kind of forgot about this Lion hero because you haven't seen it, and everyone has such low expectations of it that you underestimate him a bit, and now he starts to do well, and now everyone's like, oh yeah, that hero kind of good, and they start playing it again. I think Lion has some of that where everyone has this like like bottom tier, like worst of the worst expectation of him, and I don't think he's broken. I think he's just like normal. But when you're expecting someone to be awful and then they come out you at like average, it's like still more than you expected, and I think a lot of people are being caught off by surprise because of that. That's
true. That's a good point. And Venge tipping the Lion there for a missed stun earlier. How's the mid matchup? Medusa, Dragon Knight.
I think they just farm, right? But what I want to see is that Medusa, she usually tries to shove out the lane and then go jungle. And Dragon Knight's bad at jungling, but he's great at tower taking. So what we need to see from him, and what we have seen in the past, is some like poorly timed rotations. And so I hope we don't see that from the Dragon Knight. I hope that when Medusa tries to jungle, and he looks like he's on pace to hit 6 at a decent time. I hope he just takes his tower, or at least pressures it. And if we see him try to rotate and Medusa just gets to jungle and protect her tower, I think that'll be pretty bad for them.
Medusa picking up, Dragon Knight picking up a DD rune. This is huge. Plus the Breathe Fire minus damage reduction. He can deny a lot of Medusa's steps. Oh, he goes in for the stun with a DD. Is this going to be enough? Doesn't have enough mana for the Fire Breath.
Yeah, I think he'll be happy to deny a couple extra creeps there. Yeah, the double damage is a little insane. He denied a range creep from like half health in one hit.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's why I think of the runes mid players hate. Double damage is one of them. I feel like it's busted.
Yep, it is a little busted.
All right, runes.
DK's having a great lane.
Yeah, he's off to a good start. I will
already
say,
sieging that tower.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, this is exactly what we wanted. Medusa's even still here, but she's not quite ready to jungle. I think she could do okay. Do you see what she has queued up? I
love this build. It's Slasher's build.
Is it good though? It seems pretty questionable to me. This game.
Oh, it used to be good. I don't think it's that good anymore.
I think it's really worrisome when you have a a Luna who might just ult you. Ooh, Lion rotating in with the stun. She's about to run out of mana. I think she might be just far enough back now at this point, though. She's going to get away.
Yep. And for those of you who missed it, I feel like we were both quiet about it because we were trying to keep it a secret, but it is a Divine Rapier that is tuned. Oh, Queen of Pain going to be taken down by the double stuns.
It's looking spicy. It's looking
3-0
spicy.
for... Oh, the teams aren't showing. But the Dire is the 9-inch males NIM, and Radiant is Team 4. And this is a pretty good start for them. I think they are on the... I think they have a MMR deficit compared to Team 4. But their draft makes a lot of sense to me, and they're off to a great start. I think this could be a bit of an upset MMR-wise if they pull this off.
Dragon Knight stunning the wagon just to reduce the damage taken on his tower. I like that.
Yeah, honestly, fair enough. Medusa has not felt comfortable to jungle too much yet. And I think she has to change this this Divine Rapier. There's a lot of things in this game that...
Don't ruin this, D. Don't ruin this. let her buy the Divine. I want to see this.
Okay, you know what? You're right. I do want to see it. I think if she gets it, though, she'll be punished heavily. But I'm kind of with you. I actually do kind of want to see it now.
I think whatever happens, we'll be entertained.
Fair enough, fair enough. To run it through for the viewers, if she picks it up, she'll be a pretty fragile hero. She'll have Power Treads, a Mask of Madness, which reduces her armor, and she has bought some stat items, but that won't really save her from like an Overgrowth into the Firestorm and this Luna ult in particular, because she's a low health hero on Medusa. She has the mana shield, but with so many different things to damage her, I think she'll lose the Divine Rapier pretty quickly.
All right. So let's do the Angel. Oh, wait. On the bottom lane, they're going to the Lion. Firestorm dropping onto the Wisp. Lion getting really low. Wisp trying to finish the line off. Does get the kill. Underlord looking for a return kill. But doesn't look like it's going to happen here. Underlord, however, doing a great job here in the lane. He was CSing a lot. Uses his ult to try to back off. It's a long one, though. He's going back in. Not going to have enough damage. And he goes safely back to base. Yeah, I will say, okay, let me try to defend this Medusa. He's gonna be kind of harder to kill because he has a Wisp on his team. He also has a Venge Aura, which is gonna be great, and it's gonna be a pretty free Roche with that Divine Rapier. Plus another Aura. Let's talk about the second Aura, the Beastmaster's attack speed, and with that, let's talk about the top lane. Dragon Knight ganking the Beastmaster, perfect timing with the Lion, a beautiful double stun. Beastmaster looking like he's gonna go down, and Queen of Pain's gonna have to blink away. I like this rotation by the DK. Very nice. You were talking about a lack of rotations from him earlier, I believe. So, nice rotation there. I'm going to TP back to the mid lane.
Alright, I guess that's okay. I was debating that, actually, while you were talking about it. They're defending top, and Luna's already jungling, so I feel like Beastmaster's not pressuring the carry. And they can't really take that tower. So I was thinking, like, should he have gone bottom, get a kill there, or try? And then maybe they can take the safe lane tower, because then that one actually kind of opens up the map more. But I mean, I guess at the end of the day, you got a kill and made it back to mid, didn't lose any like real tower damage, so might be all right.
Yeah, the issue is here when they want to push a tower, they've got to really take it.
Bottom lane, Underlord getting run at. The Helm of the Dominator finished on this IO, so he's got a Centaur creep. And
oh, wow.
He used his Rift earlier, so I think he is going to fall here. Buying a good amount of time running through the trees. Takes a couple extra last hits because of his auras and everything, but does fall. He's going for the Greaves, so it looks like they are trying to hit a team timing here.
Top lane, Beastmaster going behind the tower. He does have an ult to cast. He does right click the line, tanking the tower. Might be a mistake.
Luna's TPing in.
All right.
She'll at least get a bunch of summons here. And
That's true. Beastmaster gonna go down.
Yep.
Kill not left for the Luna, sadly. I think it's very important to leave those kills for your cores. It's a lot of CS. 230 gold. But nice rotation by the Luna. They're gonna save the tower.
Haste on Dragon Knight bottom, running in.
Ooh.
I think they'll be okay though.
Catches
Aya will probably just
Aya.
tether away. Well, Venge is a little too close. Actually, Venge needs to be running away.
Oh, Oh, nice finger by the Lion and the stun.
Stun's just
However,
gonna
it
miss.
misses. One more hit.
Dragonite should get this. Yeah, Venge actually
Nice.
just wants to run away there. Might not be used to playing with the Io too often. When Io's getting attacked, he should just run away, and then Io can tether to you.
That's true. Venge goes down as well behind the tower. You
Where did
talked about the
Dragonite go?
Beastmaster.
Oh, he wants to
Back
defend
to
his
the mid lane. TP'd back to the mid lane, which is great because of the wagon. Look at how low his mid tower is. Because of that, we talked about ganking when that catapult's still alive. Now, a trick he can do here is walk forwards and drag all the creeps away towards the enemy side of the river. That way, the tower will kill the wagon earlier.
For sure. So that was a... So... I'm glad...
Look at the top lane dive.
Ooh, catching this Treant. I don't think Treant should actually die up here. Beastmaster is one of the better heroes against it. But the mana cost to use axes too often to cut all these trees is pretty high. And you can just... Like, on the screen right now, you can see there's 2 areas where you can still
Wow.
stand. Lion gonna fall
Beastmaster with
next.
a roar onto the Lion. Lion take it down. Underlord seeing what he can do. Queen of Pain with a defensive ultimate. Unnecessary, however, it's all right. They get their tower and they back
Tower
off.
gonna fall. DK rotating in again. I
Ooh.
think mid's gonna
I'm not
fall
sure.
because of this, though. They might
Yeah,
catch
you-
this Beastmaster.
That's
Some help
a
from the
mistake.
neutral. Oh, the slow is actually keeping him down.
Minus armor as
And
well.
Mid lane. Medusa's gonna pick this up. Lion's rotating in. Underlord was trying to Dark Rift there, but the tower actually falls, so it gets cancelled. Medusa's sticking around, but these 2 supports are not gonna kill her. Still has the rapier queued up. We might see it.
Oh, we'll see this. Oh, mana shield. Is it not on? Is the mana shield not on here?
Not on right now, but she'll be okay. She'll turn it back on.
All right. Okay.
Feel like there's
I'm a
a
little worried there.
slight. This is tough to kind of interpret, like when you're playing the game, and it's easier because we're on an outside perspective. But I think some of these rotations are going in the wrong area, and so for example, Treant can hold top on his own. I play a lot of Treant, so maybe maybe this is why I can see it a bit better. But Treant can hold that top lane alone, and that's fine for them because he's slowing down a Beastmaster, and that's good. And Luna's jungling okay. And that means Dragonite should either take mid or go bottom with this Underlord to try to take bottom. Queen of Pain almost falling in the mid lane in the meantime. And those 2 towers are very important, but Dragonite rotated top a couple times, and I don't think those kills are important when that tower's not at risk, because taking this tower is not important, and this tower's already defended, which means you don't really need to rotate up here besides for kills. But if you're not getting objectives or defending objectives with kills, then they're not as important, especially because we see through his rotations that he ended up losing mid to a Medusa, and we kind of said at the start it needs to be the other way around.
Yeah.
And if he got bottom tower instead through his rotations, that would kind of be okay. But the one time he rotated down here, he then had to... They got kills, but then they had to TP back mid. They're trying on this Io right now.
Yes, they are.
It looks like they're going to get it. Commit finger.
Clean.
Good.
Underlord dying on the top lane. Beastmaster ulti plus Queen of Pain ulti. Definitely hard to survive there. So kills traded on each side.
We're getting ready to push this tier 2. So in the bottom lane, I think just Luna. You can leave the Luna here, and they should be trying to defend these other lanes.
Fortifies used on both teams. Bottom tier 1 goes down. I wonder if they're going to continue trying to push this tier 1, tier 2 top. Might be a risk here. Alright, DK TPing top.
Beastmaster has his Necro 3 on the way. It's going to change the vision game for them here soon.
Very nice timing on the Necro 3 because the boots are there with it. And he's queued up the Blink next. How do you feel about the Blink next?
On
After the
Beastmaster?
Necro 3? Well, not in this game. Because I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, generally on the Beastmaster, you're either going Blink or you're going Vlad's. But I see this as a perfect Vlad's game. You've got the Venge and you've got the Dusa.
Yeah, I would
You've
say
got the Io.
it depends what you need to do. And some games you do need to initiate and find that kill. But if you truly have a Medusa going Divine Rapier, and she did buy the Demon Edge, so this is happening. We are strap in, guys. This means Medusa's everything to you. and you don't care about actually getting kills. You only care about keeping Medusa alive, and she will be standing in the front pushing everything. She's your frontliner, and that means you don't have to initiate. They will be initiating on the Medusa. So I agree with you. Vlad's or a Medallion into Solar Crest. I think either of those options would be pretty solid.
I like that Solar Crest idea.
This is kind of a good amount of magic damage, but Pipe feels a little awkward. It's kind of good against Luna Underlord, though, and some of these supports. Even Dragon Knight.
It is decent, but I really like the Vlads. It's true. I do like the Vlads. I mean, look, you're right. With the Divine, it's huge. With so many summons. And Z, I don't know. I feel like this Divine's going to work. I have a good feeling about it.
Quap does have... Okay, Quap has the Medallion. Okay, so yeah, I'd be down for the Vlads. And then maybe a...
Crest.
Maybe... Well, she's getting a Force to help move the Medusa around. I wonder if a Glimmer might be better, though, because then you have your magic resist, right? You've got the Medallion and Vlad's for armor. The Vlad's provides lifesteal and damage. The Glimmer is the magic resist, right? That's like everything. It's like all the items you could possibly buy for a Medusa. And then someone picks up like drums, right? Because if you're getting this Divine Raper, you're all in here, right? This is your... We're going for the win with this Divine. A ton of drawings coming out here.
You know what I noticed about the Divine? Because I used to do this build all the time, but on the safe lane. Safe lane Medusa, I'd buy a Wraith Band, a Bracer, head out for the Divine. This was another patch, but as soon as you get that Divine, your farm comes in like crazy. You just win one team fight, take Roche, take the Ancient stack, something like that, and boom, you've got your Skadi. Like, not long after, 3 minutes, 4 minutes max. It's kind of crazy. So we'll see that. If you get the Divine and you win one team fight, you're gonna see the next item coming in real quick.
The Dire's feeling like they need to play defensively a bit. They've come to defend this tier 2 a couple times, but it's left Medusa pretty free to farm, and even the Io. And it's not quite what they want to happen. From here, I feel like the rotations earlier needed to be different to change the pace of this game. At this point...
Sorry.
What's up?
Go ahead. We'll talk about this later.
I don't know. That sounds more exciting than whatever I was saying.
All right. The moment he gets the Divine, the double damage rune spawn stop. I mean, come on. Come on. Look at Roche.
Oh my goodness.
This is ridiculous, no?
This is pretty absurd. This will be the fastest Roche timing in this league, I think. This is pretty fast in a game in general.
Fastest Roche timing and fastest Roche kill as well. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
All right, guys. I'm just going to watch this Medusa. We're just going to go from this perspective. This is the game now. This is everything. So, if she does die twice, they're going to have a real issue having lost that Divine Rapier.
This is crazy. Yes, I agree with you on the Glimmer. It's very... Oh my god, Mask Command this year. He goes...
She's running it a little deep. I don't think she cares, though.
I don't think she cares. And the road goes down. And now they're going out to the Medusa. They need to kill her. She just needs a few attacks here. Luna with the ultimate. I like that Queen of Pain is tanking it. Medusa with the attacks. Mask of Madness. Dire team. They're melting, but she's out of mana. We're about to lose the Divine.
She has the Aegis one more time, but the team's dead. Dude, I'm telling you.
Aegis is here. Medusa, are you going to ultimate, please? Oh, she used the ultimate. They've got to run. Lion with a nice stun. Catches her. She's got to attack now. Io. Lion goes down. That's one disable down. They're trying to take her down. She's throwing her attacks.
Half mana.
Throwing her attacks. Can she get these 3 heroes?
No, look at the Divine on the ground. The Divine!
It's being pinged out. Beastmaster getting desperate. Now. Who gets it? Buyback. Coming in. Luna gets the Divine.
Do you think she's going to turn around and kill this and die? Oh, no.
I think
this is the perfect voice line. All right, guys. This is what I'm saying. Medusa's in the front of the fight, not deep in the middle of the fight, behind a tower, behind everything. So you just want Medusa to stand like right here, hit this tower, and everyone stands like back here, and that's all you need to do. You don't have to do anything else. So
did they do that? Where was
like weird camera issue going on right now? What's going on here?
I'm not sure where Venge is. Where Venge was?
She was
I might have
this is
missed
the
it.
issue. When you dive this far, Venge swap goes under the tower. Like, I don't know. I think she died too to the Luna ult because they're in so deep. That's why Medusa has to be on point and everyone else has to be behind her, and then that wouldn't have happened. But they were feeling it way too much, and they went in way deep.
Way too much. Way too much. I mean,
Okay.
what I usually like on the Dusa is that you get that divine, you get that Aegis, and then you just mainly you're focusing towers with that divine, and they are pressured to try to stop you from taking those towers. Once you get all 3 towers, boom, you've got that Scadi. You know, then you become a lot tankier. Second thing, Medusa should have ultied on her first life, not the second one. It would have been great, I believe. If she had a nice opportunity to ulti earlier, would have been great for zoning. However, she almost got that triple. It hurts. Now, Luna's gonna have the divine with the BKB.
She doesn't have the... Her team has... Perhaps they didn't expect for this divine to come in, so they don't have items to help it, but I do think they should all switch their itemization a bit, and they should... pretty much the exact same thing the enemy team was doing. I need to see a medallion solar crest here, someone get drums, and what else we say? Glimmer, you got the living armor, you got the Greaves aura, you go for... Oh, he's going for a Lotus, that's good. That'll protect several of these.
Lotus is really nice against
Okay,
Venge,
this positioning's
'cause you can't
really
swap.
risky. She's by herself here. Her team's not here. What's happening? Are you DC'd, Luna? What is going on here?
Oh no!
Divine back in the hands of Medusa. No, Io picked it up this time. A
All
good
right,
overgrowth,
got the divine.
but Tether gonna get out of here. Beastmaster gonna fall here. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, he was just standing there. Now the divine is back in the hands. Well, not back in the hands of the IO. Oh, let's see the damage coming out here.
Oh no.
Down.
Yeah.
That was a desperation. Give me back the divine. He's running uphill, you know.
So yeah. So I think many people have probably very little experience playing with divine rapiers. Very understandably so. But when divine enters a game, it changes the game.
Ooh, nice swap in the mid lane.
You have to protect that hero at all costs. You have to position in a way that protects that hero. So right there, we saw Luna on point, like here, and all the rest of her team was back like here. And that's scary because as we saw, the team approached from here and they found the Luna first. So your team needs to like spread out in a way that creates this like blanket that you'll run into the team before you run into the divine rapier carrier. And then later when you're fighting, it kind of depends on who's holding a divine, but usually the divine rapier should still be protected. Medusa is a case where she goes in the front.
We do have a Vlad's, by the way, on the Beastmaster. And I want to mention something. You see the Medusa here going for the Manta. It's a lot better this game to go for the SNY instead of the Manta. Look, generally, when you buy Manta, what it does, you know, it gives you the illusions. It gets you out of things like roots and silences. However, the Underlord route is not something you can really get out of with a Manta, generally. If there's other follow-up stuns. I like the SNY just because there's so many stuns on the Dire team.
I think
right?
it's really good
There's
for
the Dragon Knight stun.
the overgrowth, though. I think you...
Oh, I did give that an oversight.
Yeah, that one disarms. It's different from... The only other route that does it is Crystal Maiden. So...
Very good point. Very good point. Very good point.
I agree with you.
It is worth it.
Yeah, most routes you could just use an SNY. But overgrowth
It's
you kind
true,
of need to get out of. And it doesn't look like she's going for a BKB. Otherwise, I would agree
No.
you could go SNY BKB and do
Medusa
that.
doesn't usually like to go for BKB unless she has to. That's true. It would be a BKB game, however, because of how many stuns there are.
I actually think this is a decent BKB game. They have a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
magic.
So if she wanted to go for a BKB, then SNY BKB would have been perfect. But yes, Manta is huge against that overgrowth because of the disarm. So let's see if somehow Medusa is able to get this divine back. From the IO, yes, I know. It's gonna require IO dying, someone else taking. I know, but
And then she
I want to see that.
The issue is, well, I guess they will, right? Because at this point, the tether target is probably... That was one thing I was going to say. Io was still tethered to his creep when they made that initial push. And I think as soon as she has the divine, you're only tethered to the Medusa.
Yeah.
Roar thrown out on DK. One of the tankiest heroes they could find, though. Overgrowth or the pit catching 2. Firestorm coming out. Where is the overthrow? Still further out. A holy ult's coming out here. Swap saving the Beastmaster from the Luna ult. Luna ult's actually still going. They're going to find the Beastmaster. All right, guys, go find that IO. Let's go, let's go. Get that Divine.
Meanwhile, Dusa split pushing the bottom lane, and Trian trying to defend. Wow! He has the Yules.
This
He's
might
going
be
to hold
pretty
it for a bit. Is it going to be enough? The root comes
Slight
out with the
overlap.
Manta! Pushes her right outside.
I don't know if they have another way to teleport cancel, actually. I think she should have TP'd right there. Let's see if they find her now. She's trying to hide in the trees. All right, so they're going to find the Medusa here. Unfortunately, she's no longer carrying a Divine Rapier. Still a pretty nice kill to pick up.
The DK has a halberd now. Not too worried. That's a really good timing.
Yeah, so it's easy to forget, guys, but he's got to throw that on the IO or whoever's holding the Divine Rapier. Sometimes it's easy to get caught in the moment. You see the Medusa, throw on Medusa, but she is not the one with an extra 300 damage.
We've got some really high levels for minute 26. We've got a level 22 Luna, level 18 Io. We've got a level 20 Dragon Knight. I mean, 20. Yeah.
Io's still a
Luna,
ways
21.
off from a BKB. I think they could still kill him if they, like, Luna ult, finger, all that stuff. I think they need to be looking for him. They need to, like, kind of, like, make some smoke plays. They don't have the same level of catch as, like, Roar offers, but you still have this Dragon Tail stun, which is one of the longest in the game, with a Lion follow-up. That's a ton of lockdown.
Oh, yeah, they do.
If the team's there, they have some save with the swap and all their defensive items. But they've been split up farming several times now. Now, Io has been farming pretty deep in his own jungle. And that's good. That means if you go for him, you tend to run into these other teams. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. But if he ever slips up, he could still die. That is the weakness of the Divine Rapier. It is pure damage, has no defensive stats.
It does synergize very well with I's level 25 talent, though. Attack tethered allies target.
Yeah, I kind of suspect that after throwing that initial Divine Rapier, and then, you know, honestly, I'm not sure what happened there, but I think if they had played very safely with the Divine, I think the other team should win. So they're probably feeling very lucky to have gotten the Divine back, and they might be saying, all right, guys, chill till I hit 25. When we have this combo, it'll be extremely difficult to kill them. I'm not even sure if it's possible. So
It's gonna be a tough one.
yeah,
I mean,
they might be
attack,
playing it safe
tethered...
for 10 minutes here.
Yeah, that's a crazy level 25 talent on the IO, and it's just perfect for this game.
Yeah, combined with Medusa, it'll be absurd.
And he's going for a BKB as well, so they're not taking any chances. They want the win.
Yeah, I agree with this. I don't think he needs it. The
For a team
Roshan's up.
that... Oh, that's big. For a team that went Divine Rapier first item, you know, they're playing pretty serious.
Dude, after you throw the first Divine, you start rethinking your choices.
Oh, yeah.
You're like,
It's a wake-up call.
yeah, when you get the Divine and then the next item, you're like, I don't need it, I'm so powerful. Manta, you die and you're like, should have gotten that BKB. Yeah. You give it a second chance.
We've
and
got
then
it
you're gonna
smoke here.
All right. Missing some mana on these guys, though. Should have enough to use their spells with this Greaves, though. They're gonna run into this Medusa, it looks like. Medusa? Still running forward, actually, after Luna's smoke pops.
Oh, DK stuns the illusion. Oh, barely catch the Medusa with the root, but I don't think they're gonna be able to do anything because of the
that
Medusa
is
ult.
Medusa ult. Don't forget,
Now?
illusions don't break smoke, guys. If you run into an illusion and your smoke's still up, don't panic.
Okay, force out the Medusa ult, defend the top tower.
There's a lot of rotations from them up here. If they wanted to come up here, they probably should have just used Dark Rift. Though actually, maybe now they all Dark Rift bottom, but they scattered. This Luna might get caught out. She needs to run to the trees and just TP out, and then I think she'll be okay. All right, she's doing that.
Yep, they gave up the chase.
All right, I think they should actually try to do Roshan. If they realize the enemy team has gone bottom, and this ward should see the... I think it should have seen a couple of them. I think they should be trying to do Roshan. Actually, both teams should be.
Well, Beastmaster has a BKB queued up as well, so everybody's going for BKBs except for our best friend Medusa.
No more
Look at what he's
mistakes.
queued up.
Second divine.
Another divine.
I'll tell you, 25-25. So when will this hit? This will probably hit in about within the next 5 minutes. Io will have BKB, but not the 25 talent. He's telling his team.
I
He's
want
like,
to see the double divine.
guys,
rapier.
I know I threw away that first divine. You know, my bad. But like, I learned my lesson. I think I'm ready for a new one. I'm gonna get a second divine.
I'm ready for
rapier.
a second chance.
Let me
please.
prove it, guys. I won't go way in the back. Okay, let's see. Quap finding this lion here. Committing Scream. Very short range swap to save her from the stun. All right, lion's gonna fall here. A bit of a long cooldown to commit for a lion, but actually, maybe they can turn that into the Roshan and then it's worth it. They know what's up. Quap did walk in there. Maybe not feeling confident with just a Luna kill, or just a lion kill.
Luna was doing a great job pushing the bottom lane as well.
I actually think if she had stayed, she could have probably solo killed that Dusa with the Eclipse, maybe?
It
would be
Tough
close.
one. There's a Manta.
But then you have
And-
the Glaze. Maybe if a teammate rotates down.
Yeah, maybe with the teammate because that mana shield. I mean, it's. Cute.
That's true. Mana Shield's pretty big. Alright. Aegis falling instantly. Don't forget cheese, guys. Alright, Aya's got Aegis, cheese. Doesn't have the slots for all this. Medusa's actually the one you want with the Aegis, usually. But I guess when you have the Divine Rapier, you take it. The cheese is really good on Io though to heal himself and an ally.
I have a question. I don't buy Helmet Dominator, but if you put it in the backpack, does the creep die?
No, so he can swap it. You're right.
Oh wow, nice swap there by the Venge. Roar onto the Luna. Now Io being focused down. That Define not gonna be doing much on him just yet. He does go down, but he still has the cheese. He swaps it back in. Beastmaster goes down. Now here comes Medusa with an ultimate. Gonna protect his Io. Lion ult onto the Io, but it's not gonna be enough. Throwing in the stun. Dragon Knight does go down. The whole dire team goes down. Luna with the buyback. Queen of Pain blinking in. Poison onto the Lion now. Gonna try to take him down with the stun. He will go down. Triple kill for Panda. Panda trying to protect the Io. Now the cheese. Dragon Knight gonna have to go back. Luna with the TP gonna cancel it, realizing that it's not gonna do much. DK. Wow, going down pretty quick for such a tanky hero with a halberd. They don't care. They're gonna take him down. Nice decision over there, killing the Dragon Knight. And tier 2 are ripe for the taking.
I think after you get that first Aegis kill, you have to get out. You committed a lot of your big abilities there, and part of the reason you win that fight is because of the disarm from the Treant ult on the Io. And that's why when he comes back, he saw a ton of damage come out because he's no longer disarmed. He's able to get all his attacks out. That might cost them the game here. Dragon Knight's down for 80 seconds. Luna's actually trying to push out bot, but she did cancel her TP earlier, which means she actually can't even come back. She doesn't even have a teleport on her, actually. I don't know if the Radiant will realize that.
That's a big mistake because you've got a double Divine Rapier push on your base. I mean, I think he's banking on the fact that they don't go for the throne. I think he's banking on the fact that they...
It looks like he's right.
Oh, actually, it's okay. They didn't even interact. Underlord is a crazy tower defender, guys.
I think that's a mistake, though. I think they should have.
I think Dusa was scared because he's out of mana completely now.
I mean, Dragon
And you know what you do? You know what you do when you're out of mana, right? You cue another Divine Rapier.
Yeah, seems
All
good
right,
to me. Luna, go to your secret shop. You can solo this Dusa right now. You've got Eclipse in 10. You've got Eclipse in 10.
He'll be scared. I think he'll be scared.
Yeah, he's
If
scared.
he sees her.
I don't. A lot of players, myself included, are bad at clicking and checking mana. So he probably didn't realize the Medusa was actually in a very vulnerable state there.
Yep.
Well, I guess you're pretty happy considering you had a dieback Dragon Knight. You didn't even lose Rax. That's pretty good for you. Relatively.
And Luna with the incredible game sense, understanding that, hey, if you want to counter a Divine Rapier, you buy your own, and he queues one as well. This game is...
He actually
this game's
bought...
ridiculous.
Actually, he probably should have bought this Butterfly, considering that Divine Rapier is already in the game. because of
Oh
the.
yeah, that's true. That's true. It's not gonna really help.
Yeah, I think he
Butterfly's
actually wants
useless.
a Scotty against an Io, Medusa, and the Vlads.
Yep.
All right, we got a smoke attempt, and the good thing about playing against 2 Divine Rapiers is that you can now find either core and get a Divine Rapier. So if they had gone, they just need to commit in one direction. Roar thrown out on the line, getting killed by these familiars. Save your boy! All right, that is not the smoke you wanted. It is tough for them. The vision game is very rough when you're playing against the Beastmaster. If we look at their vision, they've only got defensive vision here. So they didn't really know where to go with that smoke. They kind of knew they needed to, but weren't sure where to go.
Chad is asking how did Dusa get the rapier back? She bought her own rapier, guys.
Yeah,
That's the second rapier.
That's how she
was the
got
one
it
who
back.
got the rapier back. Dusa just bought a second one.
They got the rapier back though right here. I'm not sure what happened to Luna. Potentially internet issues, potentially typing to her team. You guys are so bad, right? Like I don't know.
Maybe buying maybe more realistically buying an item or something. I mean.
Guys, I have the Divine. You should be playing around. Oh my god, I'm dead. That would happen in your pub. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, guys. That'll be a post-interview kind of question.
Oh yeah.
And Luna
That's
should
true.
just say she had internet issues, no matter what was happening. She'd be like, "It wasn't my fault. Internet issues. You know, I was lagged out. I swear, I wasn't just looking for tangos in the shop."
Yeah.
But yeah, she got caught out there by 4 and died.
Lion wrapping around the Beastmaster in the jungle. Hex follow up with a blink stun on the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight pops his ultimate, but Beastmaster with the BKB. This is huge. Oh, a beautiful ultimate onto the Luna, but there's no damage follow up. No, wait a second. There is. Medusa's here with a beautiful ultimate. They're all frozen down, taken down, double kill. Yule's used onto the Medusa to buy some time, and
I think you actually just want to die. You need this overgrowth to fight later. Well, I guess with
Yeah.
Luna buyback down, there is no fight later.
yeah. They're trying to do everything to hold back that Medusa. Nice Lotus Orb there, getting the stun onto the Lion.
A couple, I've seen several times now they've overlapped skills, which is really unfortunate because their stuns are incredibly long duration on
Yes,
Dragon
yes.
Knight, Hex, and Earthspike. So if you overlap that, if you don't overlap that, that's like 10 seconds of disable, and that's absurd. But if you do overlap it, you know, you're cutting down your value by a massive amount. So
Now, the IO talent is up. Look at the damage.
GG's
Look
call.
at that. Oh
they
my.
kinda know. I think you need
know.
I think you need blink on this Treant so that when Medusa ults like she did, you go in and disarm her, and then they won't die. I mean, I guess she has Manta. I don't know if she'd used it already. That was a crazy game.
That was a crazy game. Love it.
Are you happy with
And it
the?
worked.
You wanted to see the Divine. You got to see it.
I
Are you
wanted-
satisfied?
I wanted to. I'm satisfied.
All right.
Extremely.
Let's pass it back to the coaching panel and Ibsy. Let's see where they happy with the Divine game.
Thank you so much, guys. Back with myself and Mikey and Keo. Guys, what did we just watch? I don't know
Yeah,
where
what
we
a-
start to break that one down.
What a wild game.
Divine's trading hands. Who know? Luna seemingly going AFK for a minute to give the Divine back. Honestly, that game was crazy. I certainly enjoyed watching it, guys. What did you think?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a wild game. I mean, like, in terms of the whole rapier strat, and like I've done this myself quite a few times actually recently, playing for some team games that we're practicing in like a week, with a tournament in a week, and it's I mean, I would say they were like jumping the gun a little bit, maybe like obviously being behind the tier 2 tower, like the caster said, right? Like we're talking about the first like major fight after Medusa's online. Obviously, you don't want to get behind the tier 2 tower. Like one of the really good things about Medusa when you're sieging is that you can just stand and hit the tower, and then you can use your split shot while hitting the tower, and you can like fight while you're pushing. Really, if they try to contest you. But obviously, like a lot of wild things happen in this game. But it feels like, at least for me, right, kind of regardless what happens, Team 4 is gonna pretty much automatically win the late game because of the. I didn't talk about this in the draw because I kind of forgot about it. But once Io and Medusa both hit level 25, when Medusa has the split shot uses modifiers, which then allows Io's tethered attacks, tethered targets, whatever thingy talent it is. So they'll both hit, and with both of them having having rapiers as well, it's not really gonna be possible for anyone to survive.
Right. What do you even do against that? I mean, I guess you just try to win the game before it happens.
If you play against Io, you have to end the game before it's 25, or you
Right.
lose. It's, I mean, obviously, right? There's like, it's possible to play after, but you really have to make an effort to end the game before that because it's
Right.
very hard. Because like even if it's not like a fight, right? Like Io can just relocate to your base, and they even if they don't have rapiers, they can just buy Deso or something, and they can backdoor tier 4s, ancients, barracks, you name it. Like through backdoor protection, just the two of them would relocate. So it's
Right.
really
That's
hard to play
wild.
against. Yeah.
Just to point out, I see who's ever in charge of the stream right now has made some modifications to the coaching panel screen. I don't know if you guys can see.
Amazing. Yeah, that's beautiful. Describing the game.
So, Mike, I think you did you say that sort of playing sort of like a rapier strat was something you've been working on? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, I've been practicing it a bit myself in like recent times. I'm playing with a university team right now, and we're gonna play tournament in a week. So that's why I kind of brought it up as like because last time we attended, we basically just played cheese strats where I would play Meepo and Medusa and Arc Warden every single game, and enemy teams would get very frustrated. It was a lot of fun, but so we kind of have that reputation now. So I have a lot to live up to. So I do go practice all my Medusa games and all that. So,
So
but
is
what I
that
was on about with it, right, is that
uh
I think you kind of want to align it, even though you have a rapier, you want to align it so that you get your Scotty, and that's when you go because you really don't have enough mana to like actually man up on anyone else. We see he got beat straight up by a Luna, even though he had a rapier, right? So this is a little bit overambitious, I would say. But
Right.
I think the problems also could have been mostly solved by just not going past the tier 2 tower.
but you think there is a legitimate strategy though, which in circumstances could work if played correctly?
Definitely. I think they have a lot of avenues to win the game within this draft. Like I'm gonna say, like kind of abusing IO, etc.
Is it not? Is the risk of like carrying around a rapier from? I didn't have the time. I didn't make a note of the timing she got up. I think it was probably was by Brighton saying it was about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah,
She
I
picked
would
up the
say about
rapier.
20 minutes as well.
About 20 minutes. Is the risk not too great though? In terms of dying at some point. Like in most
Well,
circumstances,
I mean,
do you
it's
think
like the caster said, right? It becomes it becomes so much about like just going with the Medusa, right? Like it's not like you send the Medusa off on some solo mission farming after she's got a rapier. Like your game plan is kind of straightforward at that point, and it is a bit of that mentality that you have to implement then, that nothing else really matters, and like you're kind of supports at that point.
Before the rapiers sort of came into the game and sort of made things extremely interesting. One thing the casters were talking about in particular were the rotations 9-inch males were making and the DK. I think they were sort of thinking, he was trying to rotate top to defend that tower. They were saying, the train could, stay there solo. And they thought that maybe the movement around the map could have been a little bit better as a team. Guys, is there anything in particular you saw yourselves from them which could be improved?
I mean,
think-
I think I think not having the control over Roche, or at least vision, was a pretty big factor. Like minute 18, was it, when they took the Roche? Yeah, minute 18 they got a D on a double damage rune on the Medusa and took the Roche, and it looked like Team 9 Maze wasn't even aware of that. I feel like they could have contested Roche, or they should have at least pushed some towers during that.
I think
Yeah, I
think
mean,
that
generally, obviously, the fight turned out okay for them, right? But
Right.
I don't think they can defend a tier 2 tower in that instance either. Like, if they
Yeah.
didn't overextend themselves, then they would have just they would have ended the game right there, right?
Yeah.
If they went outside their base and took that fight.
I think though in terms of that Roche fight, I don't. At least for my perspective, I didn't. I wouldn't if I was playing on the side of 9 inch Mills personally. I don't think I would have seen that coming. Around the 18-minute mark, Dusa got the rapier and then a DD rune. They hadn't seen her for a couple of minutes before then. But you still think they
Yeah, I
should have
mean,
been a
they've
bit
seen
more?
the demon edge. Surely they know that it's coming, or at least they should know that it's like an option that they have. Like,
Right.
once they see the demon edge, they know, okay, she's either getting
I mean,
MKB or she's getting rapier, right? It's
against any type of strategy that seems very cheesy or like impossible to play against, if the enemy team gets to a certain point, like the level 25s, there are definitely some very big weaknesses to kind of balance out the strategy, right? So just having the Roche control and scouting it out, for example, and then perhaps ganking Medusa just before or just after she gets the rapier without Aegis, would definitely be an option.
Yeah, and I mean the weakness of playing around that as well is not only like trying to hit that very slim window between ages and stuff, but you can also just chill, and then when the ages is down, then you have 3 to 6 minutes where you guys should have a pretty big advantage as well, right?
Right.
So definitely you want to like play around that timing.
Well, it's certainly we said that we were hoping team forwards, throw in some interesting picks again, and it certainly made the the game in terms of the item builds really really fun to watch. So we'll have to see what's going to happen in game 2. We should be almost ready to move across to the drafting stage for game 2. I think we're just waiting for some more guys to get in there. But guys, do you think we'll see anything like that again? Anything sort of crazy? Is there anything else they could throw out? Even we didn't even really talk about the IO carry that much, just because the Divine sort of took over the show a little bit.
I
But do you think
mean,
we'll see anything?
it plays more like an IO mid in this case. I mean, it's like it's just kind of like a secondary core. It like obviously the 25 is like kind of one of the big things about the IO, and like we talked about, it's really hard to play against the 25 on IO. I basically try to end the game because like once IO hits 25, then even if even if you try to win and even if you can win, it's like I know there's less than a 10% chance to win the game usually. Like after that point, right? So it's kind of hard.
Do you think they did 9 inch Mills, did they have the opportunity at any point to try and finish the game before then? Because it looked like that
I mean,
they got the kill Medusa and then they held the Divine. At that point, it
right.
looked like they were just they almost looked like a cat in the headlights. Didn't really know what to do. We
Yeah,
got
I
this
mean
Divine. We
they
want
got
to
caught
Yeah,
out.
so I
They got
think,
caught
think
up before they got the BKB and stuff, right? Like
yeah,
they just needed to kind of like do what Team 4 was doing a bit, where they kind of like sacrificed the rest of their game a bit. They just go with a Luna. They get the core item, like they get BKB on Luna, then they just go shred the enemy base. Roche is down, like Medusa has. If you looked at the net worth at that time, right? Like every hero or like the top heroes was at 7,000 ish net worth, and Luna had 18,000. So like the game is over at that point if you just wait 2 minutes, you farm BKB, you run down mid.
Do you think it could be that they're just not used to ever being in that sort of scenario before?
Yeah, for sure. And
yeah,
I mean,
probably.
I'm not like not gonna roast them too much for not winning the game because obviously this is like one of the things with the more cheesy lineups or whatever we should say. But it's definitely like a lot of avenues, and it's why the team who picks these kind of things usually have a bit better idea of how the game's played, and those who have to play against it. So you have to think on your feet a lot and like try to be a bit creative in your approach. I think it's the best way to deal with it.
So maybe take this as sort of a learning experience, and hopefully if they ever find themselves in that position again, be a bit more prepared on what to do.
Yeah, exactly. But even if you haven't played against like certain heroes or lineups before, right? It like some things like you don't have to identify all of the enemy's power spikes, but like you can just try to think about like when you're gonna be strong and where they're gonna be strong, and then you find some like some timing or whatever that you try to hit, and that's like then you at least have something to play towards, and you have like an idea how you want to try to win the game.
And as I was sort of saying, Alec, in terms of going into the second game, if Team 4 want to sort of continue throwing out these sort of interesting combos and playing with Divine Rapiers, is there anything you could maybe predict they might go for? Like maybe something like an all spirit draft or something a bit wacky?
I hope some really wild stuff, maybe with like, well, at least in like Pro Meta and Pro Clubs, we've seen lots of like support and offlane alchemist getting some really funny Aghanim's combos. And
Yeah.
a friend of mine who is rank 100 has played an alchemist support strategy recently, where they had an undying offlane core and just rushed the Aghanims like minute 9, minute 10 for the undying, and he just stomped. So maybe we see something cheesy like that with alchemist.
What about yourself, Mikey? You said
I mean, I
like
don't really
Divine,
know.
but
I've heard some talk about a Huskar maybe, but who knows?
Huskar
We'll
what?
see. I don't know, but I mean,
Huskar
like,
support?
I don't know. I mean, as a core, but I really don't have any idea what they're gonna do.
Okay, so it looks like the draft is starting just now, so we'll have to see what they bring out for us. There won't be any fun techies though, that's banned
Aw.
straight away.
Weaver. Perhaps Weaver support?
Weaver.
Saving people with Aghanims?
We'll see, I guess. Weaver. I mean, Team 4 Weaver, I guess we assume it's not a core, just because it's first picked. Or at least it's probably going to take that more of a saving role rather than like a damage dealer.
Right. They're sealing the IO. Also, like when you first pick a Weaver, you're kind of baiting out certain type of heroes. So maybe we see some mind games, like baiting heroes that have lots of single target control.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, IO, I'm not sure when 9-inch males want to play this, but if they play an IO support, they might feel really pressured to pick some more lockdown because of the Weaver.
Right.
Like you were saying, I mean, if they were to pick like a lion or something, maybe their lanes are a bit weak.
You don't think 9-inch males will be playing IO carry at all?
Well, I'm not sure. I just would be cool if they did. I think IO core is probably more viable generally. Yeah, wait to get out of cogs at least. So this is so they picked the Underlord again, right? 9-ish males were playing it last game.
Correct, yes. Big fan of Underlord.
Yeah. This might be a bit of an interesting support duo coming from Team 4. We'll see if that is the case, but don't really see them playing any of these heroes as a core right now. I mean, obviously they can put Weaver carry. It should do quite well on lane as well, but I'm not sure they would pick their carry first. Definitely looks good so far though. They don't have really any good way of killing him. Lanes quite
True.
well against Underlord. Ranged hero can avoid a bit. You can run him down. Swarms pretty strong.
It's a funny kind of flex pick, because you make the enemy think it's support, but then it's maybe not.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, so they Team 4 kind of help. They keep the same idea as last game, where they kind of help the enemy Underlord not get counterpicked on lane. But I assume they have something else planned than Ursa or Gyro. But they tend to ban a lot of heroes that typically do well against Underlord in lane.
Yeah. I think they
Probably
banned
not.
Monkey last game.
Yeah, they did.
Us again.
Morris Jog, same.
No, actually, Team 4 banned Monkey. Antimage. Slug.
Yeah, that was what I was referring to. The Team 4 were banning heroes that typically lane
Right.
pretty well into Underlord. It's a bit interesting. What did they play offlane last game? Team 4. Slark ban. Same as well.
I think the Beastmaster.
Oh yeah, of course, Beastmaster. You're right. Beastmaster. All right. Well, this middle ban stage is quite big, but it's a lot of carries and Mars, just like last game. Last game, Troll was banned out as well. Might be okay. It's mostly picked though for good lane matchups. I mean, they both have some flexibility in the drafts, right? They could have core support. I mean, Clock is probably pretty sure Clock's a support, I think, but both Weaver and IO could like kind of do the same kind of flexible things. Pudge.
Huh. That's
Well,
weird.
there's the
Oh, we do
Alchemist.
see the Alchemist. Ooh.
So maybe that's the Weaver strat with Aghanims,
Yep.
perhaps.
Also, Clocked Aghanim's very good. Patch is
Yep.
interesting though. I'm not sure who plays it. I think Sepulture maybe. Oh, they steal Io Medusa. Interesting.
They're gonna play Eye Medusa this time.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, if you can't beat them,
Join them.
we'll see if they know how to pull it off. We'll see if they want to go for the same kind of
No, you don't have the
style.
range swap save, you have the hook save.
Good enough, right? I mean, there's no aura, obviously, but like Invoker.
Yeah, pretty gonna get Medusa.
Yeah, it's
Mana
okay.
burn, control. If they're both mid lane, Invoker is able to fight before the Medusa probably. Medusa can only fight defensively.
Yeah, it depends a bit, but I think Medusa lanes pretty well into Invoker. Quas Vex.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's fine.
If you go Quas Wex, I'm not sure how it goes, but it's definitely very easy to kill Forge Spirits with the Mystic Snake.
Right. Well, I think you can absolutely decide. I personally would go Exort because it's more comfort for me.
Yeah, I mean
It's also better to pressure.
they have Clock to lock people. They have Alchemist
Right.
Stun potentially if he skills it. Not sure about that, but they have some
It's
setups.
actually
Sure.
it's actually funny if you get hooked and then time lapsed. It's a bit of a weird counter.
Yeah, I mean Medusa is not. I don't think Medusa's awful against Invoker. The main thing is the Deafening Blast. You usually don't have a BKB to deal with it.
Right.
But like, obviously Ice Wall very good for kiting heroes, right? And you want to kind of kite Medusa, but Medusa's also ranged, so it's not like you can just Ice Wall her and run circles around.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, they have some control with the Underlord. The pit's definitely very strong. Maybe they feel they can just farm against this for a while. And if they have Alchemist, Invoker, we'll see. I mean, maybe we're still looking for one position for Team 4. Maybe not.
Yeah. What's one with a really good Arganims? Maybe like Wraith King?
Okay,
Monkey?
that's probably not a one position. I mean,
Oh.
yeah, I
Oh, so
think
it's an Alchemist one.
yeah, they're gonna put Alchemist one. This might
Yeah.
be adapting to Medusa. I'm not sure, but like I definitely like the idea of this versus Medusa. You get very tanky. You have high sustain in fights, and Medusa's damage is
Right.
very limited, and you come online very fast, right? Like
Wait,
if
but
you want to have a farm war against Alchemist, it's usually not.
what's a Lycan though? Like you can't really go for the Lycan Arganims Wolves. Because you don't want to make Medusa a melee hero. That's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, maybe Lycan's just for Lycan things.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
suppose.
not sure, but they definitely need something to put some pressure on.
Right.
Like they have Pudge, Underlord, Medusa. Like they exert zero pressure on the map. I mean, obviously Underlord can push lanes and Medusa, but like it's really hard to get across to the enemies half of the map, and the enemy has an Alchemist. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious whether Alchemist is like
It's looking spicy.
a
It's looking
techie thing
spicy.
where they swap it to +1 because of the Medusa pick. It seems pretty likely to me. I'm not sure.
One of my favorites.
Okay, so we'll have to see how this game plays out. Looks like there's a pause just now, but I wonder if the Dusa and I will also be going for Rapers, but this time in the opposing team. We'll have to see. I'll pass you over to ZQ and Sal to take us through this one.
Hello again.
Hello, hello. All right, we got a small pause here while the player is probably left the computer a second. All right, so we got some time to talk about the draft, Sal. What are you thinking?
The Pudge draft is pretty questionable. I'm not the biggest fan of the Pudge picks generally, but in competitive, it's a whole different story than a pub. So I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. I do agree. I'm not sure about the Lycan's place here. I suppose if you had a good start, that the Dire team don't have a lot of defense against it. Not until Pango gets a Maelstrom and maybe that acid spray, but it starts being used defensively. But I'm not sure. I don't know. If Medusa's team, the Radiant team, has what it takes to win this. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I saw in the chat that someone said NIM are having fun in the chat when they were drafting, so maybe they're here for some goofy strats. Pudge would definitely fall in line with that. Might explain the Lycan pick. Maybe it's just something he wanted to play. Because I agree, it is a little a little awkward. Although Lycan is pretty good at running at an Alchemist, literally running down the Alchemist. If time to like look at everyone's sets here. Alchemist is kind of low armor until he farms up items, but he doesn't really get an armor item till his third item, usually an Assault Cuirass. So maybe they can pick up a couple Lycan kills before he really comes online. Hopefully not feed too many wolves to him in the meantime. I think this Invoker pick's pretty good too. We'll see what he goes. I don't know if he's going to go like Quas, Wex, or Exort. But I think against this lineup... she didn't finish loading in. The Quas Wex is pretty good. I think you really want a Spirit Vessel builder against an IO. And then you've got the Mana Burn or the Dusa. And you need to be like a bit more active when you have an Alchemist. You don't get to... Exort Invoker tends to farm pretty heavily. And
yes, this is definitely Quas Wex.
You don't want to compete with the Alchemist, I think. Although, if you did go Exort and then you were given an Ags, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be a crazy fast timing on that. But if you have a carry Ags, usually he's not about giving Aghanims too quickly.
And with that, they start with the... I mean, we resume the game. So let's see the lanes. See the lanes. Pango off lane with a clock 4. Not the strongest lane, but I mean, it's decent because Pango will be able to get some farm. Lycan is an annoying safe laner because he gets that really early necro, whether you like it or not. However, he's not the best at pressuring, and a hero like Pango loves a lane where he can kind of get his XP, get his farm. So it's gonna be good for Pango actually.
Yeah, I think so too. I
Pango's
was not
also a good
exactly
hero
a
against
harassing support.
Yeah, and Pango is good against Dusa, by the way, with the disarm.
Mhm.
It's huge. That's why I'm really favoring the Dire Draft. It's not just only because of the awkwardness of the Radiant team's picks, which can definitely work, by the way, but it's also because they're kind of countered. They're countered by the EMP. They're countered by the Pango. You know, there's a lot of minus to armor as well, coming through from the Alchemist and the Weaver, and a lot of disable from the Clock. Well, not a lot, but there's decent disable.
Neither team's placed their wards yet. They got off. Everyone got out on the map pretty fast, but everyone's holding on to their wards. I'm curious where they're gonna place them. I don't know if we'll see too much rotation this game. I guess the Clock might move and the Pudge might move. Ooh, Pudge hook at the start, but Weaver, probably one of the worst heroes you could grab with that. She's gonna Shikuchi you away, unfortunately for them.
And they're just trolling the Pudge with those tips. Trying to get in his head.
I don't know what they're talking about. He hit the hook. They're not gonna have enough tips ready for the future. They need to tilt him out.
That's true.
Pudge buying a sentry, I like that. That way the Weaver's not allowed to just like run in for free. You get to hit him with a right click. Pudge actually landing a second hook. And Weaver's got a very small health pool. But he'll have Shikuchi, he'll be okay. But that's a Sal forced pretty quickly. A little messy. I'll be happy with that. We got it.
It is a Weaver support, by the way, which is pretty nice. Weaver 5 is kind of, you know, it's not really a thing, but it's done sometimes.
I wonder if it's too greedy with an Alchemist, because Weaver 5 kind of needs to farm a little bit.
Yes, usually you see a Weaver 4, if anything.
Maybe you don't have to. Maybe the Alchemist will give you the Ags eventually, and so you just... you probably just go like Medallion. Yeah, it looks like he's already got it queued up. Alright.
Are they really going to rely on Alk to give Ags?
Well, I don't know, but like, if he were to farm it himself, I kind of think it would be around the same time that an Alchemist could potentially give one. So maybe? Not really sure. This Weaver's going to get a pull-off. Very lucky for the Radiant, it's a Kobold camp, so it's not going to do too much. Pudge content to trade with a Weaver. I actually don't know. Is that good? Weaver's got the... Oh! If he had hit that hook, I think it's actually a kill. Oh, yeah. It was a nice try. It was a nice try. He even preemptively planted this sentry to be ready for that.
Yep.
So I think maybe he should plant it like more to block the small camp so they don't have to worry about pulls again in the future. Alex actually farming pretty well up here. Underlord should be okay, I think, against him, but Pudge is not a useful support for harassing out people. I think we're kind of seeing that a little bit here in this lane. I say that, though. I guess he almost got a kill on Weaver a couple times, so... Guy knows how to
Yeah.
play Pudge. Mid lane looks like they're just trading farm. Does look like he's set up for being a Quaswex Invoker. Has the urn queued up. Medusa's getting some of her last hits in though. Actually, it looks like both sides are missing some last hits in the mid lane. Maybe contesting each other a lot.
I saw a lot of harass coming out, but I think Dusa wants to really focus on the CS rather than too much harass on the Invoker since he has a lot of regen.
It's pretty uncommon. Usually the mids are near the top of the CS charts. But
Wow, they do get the Weaver down. Landing a hook into the Firestorm.
small health pool on that hero.
Small health pool.
But yeah, usually it's the mids at the top and then the side laners scattered around. But this time, actually, all the side laners are above the mid laners, which is pretty uncommon.
Yeah. I mean, look, over here, okay, it sucks that the Weaver died. However, Alchemist is having a really nice lane.
Yeah, 20 last hits. It's a lot. You can even peek at the net worth. It's definitely getting ahead.
A lot of XP as well.
Keeps dropping acid spray and then just fighting. Pudge has very low armor, so he can't really trade in the acid spray. And even Underlord armor is not that great, especially with this Blightstone being applied. And they're taking a lot of harass for it.
I mean, Acid Spray does -4 armor at level 1. Right now, it's at -5 armor, plus the Blightstone. This is huge. Like,
Yeah.
There's a reason why Alchemists are getting Acid Spray level 1 instead of Greed, even if they have a free farm lane. Like, Acid Spray is just too much harass to pass up.
I think maybe this Underlord... Well, he went for the bottle for the regen. He might need to pick up some kind of armor item fairly quickly. Haste Rune, found by the clock. He's going to catch this Medusa out. Got the EMP. Cogs actually a little off. The EMP does go off, but I think he wanted to use that a bit sooner to keep her in the river. May have been a hard kill anyways.
So butter your bacon.
Nice rotation, though. Forcing away an IO rotation as well, burning out Medusa's mana. Nice attempt.
Yeah, and he just gets to run back bottom because he had the haste. So Io's teleport is on cooldown now. Maybe they'll be able to make another attempt later. And then he won't be able to rotate in.
Underlord a little low on the under his tower. Weaver going in, and he gets it. Nice kill. And the counter kill by the Pudge.
Pudge is ready to carry this game with hooks. He's ready. He's hit quite a few of them. Unfortunately, we caught like the one he missed over here, but he's hit several now. All right, Invoker doesn't have the best wave clear, so unlike last game, well, actually Dragon Knight doesn't have the best wave clear either. But usually Medusas want to shove the lane and then go jungle a little bit. And if you're against someone who has really good wave clear, it's hard to do because they just shove the lane back to you and you have to defend your tower. Dragon Knight, though, the reason he can kind of like keep Medusa in is that because of his ult, if you leave too long, he takes the tower. Invoker doesn't quite have that, especially with Quaswex build. So I think this Medusa should have a bit more freedom to jungle a little more.
Ooh, on the bottom lane, Clockwork going in, barely missing the cogs over there, and now he's gonna have to back up. Pressure onto the Lycan from the Pango. Does have an Orb of Venom. Jumps in and he takes out the Io in the backlines. Io did not expect that. And now Lycan has to back away. Meanwhile, Pudge does go down on the top lane because of that crazy minus armor combo.
Yeah, point picked up in the swarm, so they are all in on this negative armor. And it's working out for them. Well, I guess the Weaver died twice along the way, but Alk is getting a lot of farm, and if Weaver dies once or twice, but Alk is lasting the whole time, like you said earlier, I think that's fine. In the bottom lane, you mentioned how Pango is notoriously a weaker laner. It's what balances the hero. But once you get a couple levels in your Swashbuckle, you start to become a lot safer, and that's why he's weak, because the level 1 cooldown is really long. He's actually out-leveling the Lycan a little bit. Part of that is because this Clockwork has been rotating so much. But that does mean he's pretty strong down here. We saw them pick up the kill earlier. Now he even has his ultimate. He doesn't have the mana to use it, which is, he needs to be a little careful without it.
It would be nice to see him get the mana for this because he can do so much damage, and you want to use your ulti before Lycan hits 6 to get that kill.
Yeah.
Lycan already has Necro, by the way. But it's in the courier.
This Alchemist is going to hit a really nice Battle Fury timing. He's having he's #1 in last hits. Not what you want when you're playing against an alchemist.
Now I know Battle Fury has been gaining so much popularity
Mhm.
compared to the Radiance, and objectively you could say it's better now. However, isn't Radiance really nice against Lycan
They
summons?
found Medusa in this jungle. Tether
Oh.
coming in with a teleport. Let me keep her
She's
alive
out
for
of
a little
mana.
longer. She's trading pretty well with the Invoker. He doesn't have the best armor in the world, that the urn gives him a little bit. Looks like everyone's just gonna leave. All right, forcing another rotation out of the IO.
Medusa very tanky. Hey, so what do you feel about the Radiance? Oh, on the top lane, Pudge going in. Does he have a hook here? No, he doesn't. Alchemist, regen. Is it going to be enough? Pudge almost
in a
has a hook.
second
Are we
here.
going to see it? Oh, when he goes
No.
down. Not enough. Not enough.
Oh, it was so close.
Yep. And now
He actually doesn't
Underlord's
have
doing
enough
a lot
mana for
him as
Dark
well.
Rift, so I think this Underlord is gonna fall next.
Yep. All he can do now is try to buy some time, use that Quelling Blade, make some eat a tree.
Miscalculating his
Yep.
mana a bit there, using Firestorm
Oh.
instead of Dark Rift. Maybe he didn't think he would get out.
I think Pudge could have stayed in the Firestorm, would have died earlier, but Alchemist would have died to the Firestorm
Yeah,
earlier.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Mid going on the Medusa a little bit. I don't think she's at risk here.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually we'll answer your question. Yeah, Radiance does look all right. But at some point, you always you swap it out, right? Ooh, I don't know if they get that kill with the hook, but
On
it's
Alk?
miss, unfortunately.
Uh,
I mean, you make the Medusa miss, but there's a good chance Medusa's gonna get Divine Rapier, right? So.
oh yeah, sure. That that's true. That's a good point. But I'm thinking of the Lycan summons as well, and the Lycan. A hero who does not like to buy Monkey or Divine, and his summons can do so much damage.
It's tough. Maybe I don't play the hero enough. I am a fan of this Battle Fury build instead of the Radiance a bit more. It feels like it hits a faster timing. The scale up is a little better. So I have been liking it more, especially with the new blinks in the game too, because now your right clicks are stronger, and I think Battle Fury scales a little better for right click damage than the Radiance. So I've been enjoying seeing Alex get Battle Fury. Haven't really enjoyed Alchemist in general. He's been in like every single one of my games.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little tired of him, but at least when he's on my team, I'm fine when he goes Battle Fury. I think that's the more modern build.
Wow, Invoker goes down trading with the Medusa in Medusa's own jungle, and now they're gonna tip the
Okay. Well, so you see where the Alk effect comes in, guys. Medusa's top of the last hits by a bit, but Alk is actually several thousand ahead of her, which is very uncommon for any other hero but Alchemist. Pudge coming in here, blocking one of the camps. So I was looking for this earlier, and looks like in the time I didn't check, they've actually now got a couple stacks for the Alk. So it looks like we have a stack here, double stack here, and one stack here. And this is really nice. Underlord coming in to steal this with Firestorm. Pudge here as well. This is exactly what you want to do when the enemy spends time warding or jungling, or stacking jungle, sorry, for their carry later. This is why when you do it, you also need to drop defensive wards. If they could see that these were being stolen, they could rotate in and fight this. But they don't have vision of this, and Medusa's getting in on the action. Looks like we're stealing every single stack now. They've used some wards to block these camps too. So I think maybe they want to use sentries to block some of these instead. But yeah, this is a lot of gold that they just stole.
Yeah.
They didn't waste any time stacking it. They only took it. That's ideal. That's why cores usually like when they're stacked. Damn, that hook does a lot of damage. Almost straight up killed that Weaver with the hook on the Pudge bottom lane.
An Alchemist in his own jungle, just realizing now that all his stacks have been taken.
And a couple are blocked.
Now they know. It's gotta feel bad.
This ward actually doesn't... Oh, I guess this is slightly misplaced. I thought this ward was supposed to block this camp. Certainly looks like it's supposed to.
Yeah. Oh, on the bottom lane. A nice hook onto the Pudge by the clock. No mana for the... Well, Cog's on cooldown, actually. Pudge does go down. What worries me is one sentry could take down both those orbs on the dark side. I mean,
Yeah, but I think,
like you said,
fortunately, the way you used to usually place it is you place it near the box, so you cover the whole thing. So I think because of that, it should be okay. It would take 2 sentries. So like, odds are
yeah.
they place it like somewhere around here, and that actually probably won't get this one. Though in theory, if they knew, then you're right. Yeah, 1 sentry could get both. Looks like the support's doing a bit more stacking here for Alk. And so once you get this area stacked, guys, as a support, you should drop like a sentry here, maybe even 2, depending how many stacks you have. Check that the enemy doesn't have vision, so they don't know there are stacks they should steal. Yeah, so this Weaver, there we go. They're doing it. You check, make sure the enemy doesn't have wards, and you place your own. That way, you know when they're coming to steal the stacks, you come fight it. Although Alk's going to clear it up pretty quickly after they did it.
Ooh, Pudge with a bite on the top lane onto the Pango. Pango, are you going to be able to jump away? Yes, he does, and now he wants to roll away, but
Ooh,
no.
close.
He doesn't get it off, and Mage gets that last hit. Now they're going to push the top tower with that Necro 3 that Lycan just completed.
This would be good. They lost their own safe lane tower, so it's really good to balance it out. Clockwork finding the hook shot bottom lane on Hatan. Doesn't have Dark Rift. Does have his mech, though. He's still fairly healthy. Should be okay. It's just the 2 supports here.
Clock didn't have the mana for his battery results, so.
This is a little weird. Medusa rotating down here. I don't think you want to do this. I think you actually just keep wanting to farm. I'm not sure where she rotated from, but there are multiple places better to farm than this bot lane where there are 3 heroes. I guess maybe they didn't realize. Well, they should know both supports are here, and that I think they saw Invoker in the lane.
Pudge being taken down by the Alchemist. A lot of minus armor here. Pudge is going to go down on the back lines. Lycan, what are you looking for here?
Doesn't have
Might
his
be in a
ult
bad
yet.
position. Going after the...
Tether
Okay.
brings him out.
Gets saved.
Dark Rift being used as well. I don't think you actually need to complete this. Yeah, okay. As long as Medusa's left to farm, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Medusa picking up the Scotty. I like that purchase a lot. It's really good against the Alchemist. And has the Rapier queued up after that, guys. So we might see another one coming in. Let's see if they learned their lesson, or learned the lesson from the enemy last time, that not to dive beyond the tower too quickly. Medusa trying to stack her Ancients. Weaver actually steals the rune right from under her, but she's going to get her stacks, which is worth a little bit more for herself.
Well played by the Weaver. Alchemist has the SNY, and he is going for the Blink, taking some more stacks over here. So at least he got some stacks this game. And now he's going to purchase that Blink Dagger.
Oh,
And I agree, yes,
guys, this is a lot of observer wards in the same area on the map. This is this is a triple observer sentry right here.
Ridiculous.
That's
I mean,
very
you
risky.
don't want to be... Yeah, you don't want to be blocking with your obs. You want to be blocking with sentries, generally.
Yeah, they block sentries. When you guys block camps, you don't actually have to block every camp, because that costs a lot. Block them, like, in a scattered way. So instead of, like, blocking 2 right next to each other, you, like, block one here, block one here. So then the Alk, like, walks. He's like, oh, this camp's blocked. Maybe the next one's fine. He walks over, and it's like, oh, this one's blocked, too. Ooh, nice. Pudge ult into the hook. The Medusa for some extra damage. Picks up the Weaver kill. And that way they waste some time walking between camps, not farming efficiently, but you don't lose
like in with the
every
ultimate.
single, all your gold. With the hook shot hitting a summon instead. Lycan really deep for this.
He's going to get it, though. Nice kill.
Hook might have been able to help him, but opts for the to go in further for the supports. Looks like he is going to find a Pudge for his troubles. But I think you're probably happy with an Invoker kill for the Pudge.
Oh, yeah.
And Lycan manages to get out. Pango.
Nice sidestep by the Io.
Ulting here. Looks like he's going to grab this IO unless we can see some 6 side steps. Ooh,
almost gets that. That first swashbuckle he dodged was really nice.
Little tip
Now,
for...
pressuring
Oh,
mid.
actually, hold on. Fight's still going. Okay, looks like they're getting out. A little tip for you guys against Pango. Instead of... When you're trying to dodge the ult, many people instinctively run away, but you actually run in towards him at an angle because he can only turn so fast. So if you run away, he has time to adjust his angle, and that's why he can hit you. But if you run close to him and to the side, then he has a harder time running in, which the IO was trying to do there, but just for anyone else who's ever played against Pango and always seems to get hit. That's the high level trick. You gotta face your fears and move in.
Yep. It's easier to dodge as long as it doesn't hit you with that first stun.
Alex got Blink. Going for this Basher next. I actually think he really wants a... I feel like he wants an armor item against a Lycan Medusa.
Ooh, Pudge. Pudge, a lot of minus armor on him. He tries to go back for the bite, but no, it's not enough. Pango catches him. Now another stun into a tornado.
I don't know if they're ready to fight. Tether...
Beautiful Medusa ult.
Oh, he's been silenced. He ulted in, but he can't actually tether to help the Medusa. A double
That's
stun.
huge bot. Alchemist doing so much damage over here, ripping him apart. Sunstrike coming in. Medusa, are you gonna go down here? Clock trying for the hook, but it's blocked by his buddy, the Weaver. Medusa does go down.
Lycan's here, but it's against a lot of heroes by himself. Ooh, all the skill shots hitting teammates this time. Clockwork Cogs catching both.
Oh my god, that was huge. It really looked like the Alch was gonna go down, but then a beautiful cog into a Pango swashbuckle, catching every single hero.
Yeah.
And they all melt.
Guys, I don't think you want to, until the Deuce, well, I thought she was going Scotty, but she's actually got the Demon Edge queued up, so maybe she didn't learn her lesson from the last game. She wants to go Divine Rapier next, too. But yeah, I don't think you want to fight there. It was just a Pudge who fell. You don't need to fight that. You can just let him die, finish the Scotty, or Divine Rapier.
Looks like it's the Divine he's going for.
No, we might have some item overlap here, because Underlord's finished the Greaves, and it kind of looks like... Actually, what are you buying on IO? Maybe just Tassus casually health regen. But we need to see what we saw last game. We need to see some, like, Vlad's, Solar Crest. Medusa found in the jungle. Taking a lot of spell damage. Tether, this time, is able to complete. Pudge ult on the Clockwork. Gonna pick up a Clockwork kill.
Oh no, the Underlord canceled his ult.
Lycan does not quite have his ult yet. Lycan getting kited a bit because he doesn't have the best lockdown between his team.
He's gonna back away safely now. Hey, it could have been worse. Medusa could have been killed there.
Yeah, you actually take that for Pudge dying and you manage to pick up 2 kills. You're pretty happy there. But Alk was farming in the meantime, so maybe you're not that.
And over
happy.
here, Weaver chasing the creeps, trying to take them down. It's pretty nice. Gonna be a lot of nice money over here if he gets it. Oh wait, he's taking really low. He's killed. No time lapse. He didn't use it. I thought he was gonna go for the kill on the Necro and then time lapse, but he killed it. Went really low and finished off by the Pudge hook.
Maybe didn't expect the Pudge hook coming in.
Yeah.
All right, I want to know how many stacks this Pudge has actually. He's involved in several. He's also died a lot. I guess he's the least valuable hero though, so maybe that's his role. Death number 9 incoming as Alk finds a haste rune.
Yep. Pudge destroyed. I mean, look, Pudge is a very low armor hero. Add the acid spray to this, and that's why he's being taken down in 4 hits only. Nice clock hook, catching the Lycan. Are we gonna see a Cogs here? Looks like it's gonna be used to our pushback instead. I don't like that.
They actually find a return kill before the IO falls. Maybe the IO doesn't even fall. Just kidding, he is.
Whoa,
Another
wow.
bash here. Ooh, Alk decides to back off as his ultimate fades. So
I think let's get the blink away.
Ends up being an Invoker for an IO kill. Invoker getting killed off in a couple of these fights.
Yeah, it's not going so well for Invoker here.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the carry is the Alchemist. So as long as he's got the ability to help the Alch out a bit, I actually think, you know what would be really cool? Have you ever seen Invokers go like the Solar Crest build? I think that'd be dope with an Alchemist.
It would be. I mean, look at how farmed he is. The guy has his Abyssal in the backpack. He also has a casual Eagle Song chilling in the backpack with the Vanguard, right? And he's very close to his Swift Blink. He's got so much farm. At minute 22, this is...
It's terrifying.
It's too much,
He's
actually.
got the combined net worth of the other heroes.
Wow.
Yeah, he just
This is-
we
this
were
is
we were
ridiculous.
watching all those fights happen in the bottom lane, and Alk wasn't in a lot of them, and so that's why he's been able to like free farm. Guys, I
That's
have
with
a
the stack
video on
stolen.
this.
Yes,
but
yes, I
Alchemist-
watched that as well.
Thank you. You watch all my videos.
Oh yeah.
Guys, Alchemist, while we're here, Alchemist he's like one of those heroes in Dota where, you know, if you play against a Juggernaut versus like a Slark or an Ursa, the game is pretty similar conceptually. But Alchemist is one of these heroes that really shifts the game, and everything becomes about the Alchemist. So both teams only really need to care about the Alchemist. Aside from this new like off lane Alchemist stuff, that's a little different. But any carry or mid Alchemist, the game plan is that Alk is just going to farm, and he needs the time to farm.
Oh, look
If
at
he-
the Alk onto the Pudge.
When he gets the time to
Boom,
farm, this
takes
is what
that.
happens.
This is what happens. He's got that swift blink. He's gonna use it if this continues on to be a chase.
I don't know whose
Hitting the
force
whiz.
staff that was, but that was kind of good. I think it was his
down.
own.
Now they're onto the Medusa. Boom, boom, boom. Alchemist, the non-stop bashes. Medusa is gonna regret going for this divine.
Lycan
Or-
trying to find the return kill on the Invoker, but now Invoker has returned to his team. Doesn't have the Abyssal yet on the Alk. Doesn't need it. Just blinks in, gets the
Wow.
first hit bash.
Killing the Lycan in his wolf form without any actual legit stuns, just mini stuns. Insane.
So they're gonna pick up the Roche now. Should go on Alchemist. Alchemist really cares about the farming after he gets after laning, guys. So whether he has a good game or a bad game, he's gonna do the exact same thing, and that is farm for about 10 to 15 minutes. Even if he has a bad game, he can recover incredibly quickly. So no matter like how he does in the lane, of course he wants to do well. But even if he does poorly, he still needs the exact same like 10 to 15 minutes of as much free farming as he can get.
Ooh, the
And-
swift blink going in. Look at that. Onto the Underlord.
He-
Doesn't even move.
Bash
Oh,
Lord.
and he moves into the IO. Double
Ooh,
kill.
Double kill right there. This is what
Perma
happens.
bashes.
This is what happens when you have a good lane followed by like 10 minutes of free farm.
Clock hooks the Pudge. Pudge taken down. Yup. This is what happens.
So actually this time, I wasn't
Very
sure if I
good
was
echo
right on the
there.
idea. But actually, if you check out the Weaver going for the Ags, he's still like 3k away. And the Alk is about to hit his 6th slot. So which means I do think Alk could actually reach the point of giving an Ags.
Oh yeah, right now he can just do that. He
Instead
can
of,
just give everybody Ags.
Instead of, I think Weaver maybe goes like straight Solar Crest instead. Or, I don't know, what else could you buy? The Vlads? Vlads isn't bad this game. Blinks in aggressively. Is this the Bash Lord? Gonna throw the stun. Gonna switch targets to the Underlord. Some lucky bashes. Gonna secure that kill. He's got the Alacrity. Ooh, another! Oh, this man's insane. He can't stop bashing. It's not fair.
Insane.
They're gonna go for
Insane.
the win here. Buy back on IO. He's got Alacrity. Ult is down. He is
But he
still
has an Aegis.
insanely farmed. Yeah. If they wanted to
Yeah,
play it
he's-
safe, they probably could just go for Megas, but I think they might just go for the win here. I'm gonna pick up the Aegis on the Alchemist. I think I actually don't know where the burst of damage came on him. I thought he killed. Oh, I think he killed.
He killed the Necro. He killed the Necro. That's what got him. But now he has his ult. He doesn't care. Is he gonna fountain dive?
I think
it
Pudge
might be a
maybe needed to
mistake.
play safe and just hope to fountain hook people.
Yeah, that's true. He could have done that.
He's gonna be up here
before.
before the game ends. Maybe he still has a shot. All right, we're
Oh,
gonna
we
find
need to see
the
this.
kill on the Pango. One T4 is
Alchemist's
still
gonna retreat.
alive. Pudge running in, gonna find the hook on the Clockwork. This should be a second kill for them. All right, so lost one set of racks. They have a Medusa and an Underlord though, so it's not too bad. You can hold that. Got 2 tier 2s up. But Alchemist just needs a kill and then just to walk down a straight line. He's got 7k right now. Let's see what he buys. Probably sell this wand and replace it. He is gonna grab the AC now. Ew, picks up an Elven Tunic as if he wasn't hard enough to kill and
Yeah.
didn't have enough attack speed.
And movement speed. This is it's a
This is
lot.
a really good item for him this game.
Definitely. Evasion is huge against all of that. Not that he needs it. Not that he needs it. Oh, he's going for a Daedalus now instead of the AC.
I guess he agrees he doesn't need it. They're looking for this Invoker kill up here. Ice Wall gonna buy a bit of time. Oh, just kidding. The ult's gonna come out. Secure that kill.
Nice.
They get the
Pudge
return
getting
kill
two
on
kills.
Pudge.
Trying to redeem himself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Alchemist picks up the Ags as well, by the way.
Scotty on the Medusa. She's now working on the Divine Rapier. She needs about 3,000 more. Well, you know what? If she's actually not focused properly, she could kill the Alchemist because he didn't go for the AC, and she has the Scotty to reduce his healing. And did Pudge? Pudge hasn't quite finished the Spirit Vessel. But
The issue is Weaver has the Ags now. So
ooh,
killing
you're
the
right.
Alch just became a lot harder.
How long ago does it send him back? 5
seconds, I believe.
Yeah. I guess the good news is that even with the Divine Rapier and Scotty, it's probably a slow whittling down of Alk's health. So at least you're not gonna like burst him, but then he gets all his health back. You're probably gonna still have to go through an extra 50% of his health. But probably still not gonna feel great. But I could see it if they get overconfident with this. If Dusa makes it to the Rapier, I guess I should qualify that. She still needs to grab that. I don't know if he wanted to show himself. Looks like he is gonna Dark Rift. He's gonna get out safely at this rate.
Dusa, yeah, you're right. Nowhere near the Divine right now. It's not gonna happen.
You gotta be way
Push
far
it here.
back.
Oh, Ayo, gonna die. Whoever Alk goes on is pretty much dead. That's the rule.
Yeah, I think the only person who may survive a little bit is this Underlord.
Nice Medusa ult.
You see,
Freezing
Dusa's
the
got a
clock.
lot of damage.
Alk
Ooh,
is
the
on her.
hook
Nice
save.
hook. Very nice save over there. However, Underlord does go down. Buyback from him, coming back, trying to defend this.
Dusa still needs another 2,000 for the Divine Rapier. Alk, you could buy a Divine Rapier. See a repeat
Successful
of last
defense
game.
right now. Wait, they're going for a chase. I don't know if that's a good idea.
I think they want to stay in the
I don't
base.
know
I
if that's a good
agree.
idea. Yeah. Underlord goes down, Pudge goes down. That's a big mistake people do when they overchase after a defense.
Yeah, I think maybe they thought Alk's ult was down, so they wanted to go, but the guy is insanely strong. You can fight him on the high ground because there's high ground advantage. And even then, I don't know, he dove pretty deep for that fight. They are going to call GG here.
Yeah,
This
GG has been
Alchemist
called.
was just way too farmed.
With the second ultra kill of the game, they get the victory on Team 4.
It's pretty exciting though. No Divine Rapier this time. Gotta say, not as a big a fan of this game.
They tried though, they tried.
All right, let's pass it back to the coaching panel to break that one down.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, guys. Back with myself, Keo, and Mikey. So yeah, as I said, no crazy Divine Rapier play, even though the Medusa looked like she wanted to go for it. We didn't see it. Instead, we retreated to an Alchemist who was running rampant across the map. Guys, take us through that one.
So, first of all, I want to say that even though Team 4, well, I mean, first of all, congratulations, but even though they have been picking these really wacky drafts due to trying to pick all these least played heroes, they seem to have a strategy where they go for this kind of raid boss. Like, everybody's playing around this one really strong late game hero, and just give him farm, buff him up, and he wins the game.
So just throw it give one hero as much space as possible, get all your items on him, and make him hopefully leave him unkillable. And put all your eggs into one basket.
Yep.
It obviously it worked out really well in that last game, but is that not something that's quite risky? If the enemy team does manage to get a kill on that sort of big raid boss, the rest of your team maybe doesn't have anything to show.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But that's usually why you want to pick like 3 or 4 heroes that can make a lot of space in the early game. So if you do happen to deal with the raid boss, the enemy team might be able to counter initiate and kill all of you, or they are taking at least 1 or 2 towers in the meantime.
One of the other things the casters mentioned was Alchemist going for the Battle Fury over the Radiance. I think he got that Battle Fury around the 10-minute mark. Guys, what are your thoughts on those sort of 2 items in terms of an option for?
I think the meta shifted a lot to the Battle Fury with the changes
Yep.
that's been
Yep.
going into Alchemist. I mean, assume you know what I'm talking about, Keo, but since they nerfed his Screed, like nerf to nerf, but they've been changing it a lot, and the way it used to work is it would give like roughly 40 gold or something once it's stacked up, and it would be easier to maintain the stacks as well. You'd have a longer window. But then as the meta kind of evolved, and there's like a higher need to farm the larger camps mostly. Like it's because the way you used to play it with Radiance, you were pretty much unable to farm Ancients, which was like one of the big downsides. And there was other changes as well that kind of led the Battlefield change coming, like the removal of mana regen from his ulti that he used to have, and like it's just kind of nice for like all those reasons. Cleave is not to be underestimated in fights either. When you have like AoE minus armor, and since Cleave does physical damage since a while back, you have a Cleave talent as well. So he just does like a lot of AoE damage. He's very, very tanky. And the enemy team definitely have damage issues this game as well, which is like kind of why Alchemist worked so well, because he's very tanky. He regens a lot, so like every second he stays alive is like another 100 HP that they have to deal with. And the Medusa is not equipped to just burst down one hero, which is what they need to do.
If on the side of 9-inch mills, if they'd sort of realized, at some point, maybe after sort of maybe 12, 15 minutes or so, that, the alchemist, like trying to make him into this sort of big unkillable monster, what would have been the play there? Should they have been smoking up more to try and find a gank on him in the jungle? Or, what could they have done differently to sort of limit his impact on that game?
Well, definitely not just wait and let it happen. You gotta do something. I think it
Yeah, I
doesn't
mean, I think the
necessarily
draw.
matter to go for like a smoke particularly, or to go for some certain fight, but you gotta do something.
Yeah, like this game is kind of like, or I mean, I'll see kind of shift back and forth, or at least in my head before the game started, it was kind of like the
Yep.
Lycan should have some kind of timing before Alchemist is very strong, and like even though they have Penguin stuff, like you should like you kind of have to try to get something done with the Lycan. Let's say, I mean, maybe even before, but like when he gets his Necro 3, like at the latest, that's when you really need to force the issue before the enemy team comes online, and then you're just gonna know that they're gonna be stronger for a bit. The Alchemist gets very scary. Like he's gonna get 6 slotted, because like you're not gonna be able to end the game when you have a Medusa at that point. So you want to try to like delay him as much as possible. Try to use your Lycan for the first bit of the game, then kind of like weather the storm, and then hopefully you can get your Medusa to a point where she kind of catches up eventually.
When you say use the Lycan a bit more, would that be in the terms of as I sort of mentioned, like trying to smoke up and go and try and find a pick off in the jungles, or is that just purely just pushing towers and
Well, I mean, one thing leads to the other, right? Like you can like pick off into tower, or you can, but like that basically what I'm saying is just like taking fights and taking objectives on the enemy side of the map, really. Like limit their space somehow. Like don't just leave them with their entire half of the map.
okay, so we should be able to bring in for the last time some of the guys from both teams. Is anyone able to pull them in? Are they ready to join us? Not sure there's anyone around who can do that. Is anyone able to grab some of those guys? Are they ready?
Oh.
Looks like there's some people coming in now. Or possibly everyone's joining. There's a lot, a lot of beeping.
Hello.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like we've got a load of
What-
guys
what's
now.
up? What's up, dog?
So, first off, congratulations to Team 4 ending the tournament on a high note, and commiserations to the guys over at 9 Inch Males. First off, I think the question before we start talking about anything else, the question is, what the hell happened after Luna picked up that rapier and then stood around the triangle, seemingly AFK for about a minute? Can someone please enlighten us what on earth was going on there in game 1?
Oh no, our Luna player ran away. Oh, that's sad.
Oh, he's gone.
He's
the only
we
one who
actually
knows.
Do not know. Yeah, he's the only one who knows about that. So
Because
yes,
one
we
player
cannot
has
answer that.
disappeared. But yeah, we
Unfortunately.
can't. He was the one.
I think we unanimously said we were still chilling.
And also, yeah, maybe that same thing happened to him than me. My mom walked in mid game, and then that's when we got kicked off. Dude. That was sad.
Okay, so there wasn't any connection issues
don't-
or anything
yeah.
you're aware of, or what was? Do you have any idea what was going on?
We don't
No,
know.
we were just chilling. They still have like a Medusa and an IO. It's really hard to fight into them. And we were just waiting for our items, and then we were smoking and then walking down mid.
Okay, so from a viewing perspective, it looked like Luna picked up that divine rapier and then had a nosebleed and was sitting around waiting for the enemy team to come take it off her again. That's what it looked like when we were watching.
I think Mage exploded with excitement, the possibility.
Okay, well that's good to know. There wasn't anything, there wasn't any connection issues. Hopefully, at least, because that'd be really unfortunate. But yeah, if maybe we could go back. Sorry, so I just wanted to jump in with that initially because it's a question on everyone's mind. But we go back to that first game. On the side of Team 4, you wanted to grab those divine rapiers. Was that something you guys had thought about midweek? Was this something you'd planned, or was it just something that just started happening?
I was told on the day you're going to be doing Medusa Rapier Rush, and I'm like, what items am I allowed to get before the Rapier? Do I have to go up Rapier first item with no starting items? And so we agreed on Treads, Double Wraith Band, Mom, and that was all I was allowed to get. Then I just had to get a Rapier, and I'm like, yeah, I've got Rapier now, like 16 minutes in or something dumb like that. And then we got Roshan, and I'm like, yeah, let's go fight them. And I'm like, yeah, let's dive tier 2. This is a good idea. Yes.
We got a bit carried away there, didn't we?
There's a theme of amongst my friends of I will always die by tier 2 at any point in the game, no matter what, and that's it. Will stand true to this day.
I mean, the theme of the games that we have won has been the enemies dived tier 2 against us and then all died.
It did make it extremely exciting to watch, especially that first game as back and forth rapiers flying all over the place. And we saw your core IO again. Is that something you guys really enjoy playing?
Yeah, my favorite carry.
I mean, it's the first time I've ever done IO with Medusa, and it's greedy as hell. But if you both get to level 25, the other team just needs to call GG because they won't win ever. Just because of how split shot modifiers with IO attacks all our allies, it's like 100% balanced.
Yeah, it's something that we sort of were talking about in the coaching panel, that when that sort of divine dropped and it went on the side of 9 Inch Males, they really needed to just sort of rush and end the game at that stage as quickly as possible, and as opposed to letting anything drag out, because at that sort of level 25 it's game over because it's just so strong. I guess maybe we could talk about the tournament a little bit. Maybe if we go back to guys over at NIM. How have you found the past 7 weeks? And this is obviously the last game for you today, but how have you enjoyed the past 7 weeks playing together, hopefully improving a little bit? Guys, give us your thoughts.
Was that Team 4 or 9 Inch Nails?
NIM first. It's kind of a question, but I would ask the same question as well afterwards. But NIM, any guys, if you want to tell us your thoughts about the past 7 weeks.
It's just another day at the office.
It's
Uh,
it's been
yeah,
pretty fun,
it-
honestly.
We already played together a lot, so
Well, some of us do, yeah.
Well, you see, it initially was just Hitan and I. Was it just us? It was just us. Well, we're part of like a friend group, right? It's so we both joined the tournament together, thinking this could be fun, could be educational, and then we got
Other OG
we got
mage.
yeah, we got Mage. Mage was also part of the OGs, the original 9-inch males. But yeah,
We've had so
unfortunately,
many
our mid player
replacements
had
and subs though. It's been...
we didn't feel like we could play with our mid player, so we had to kick him. Then Cabbage Monster, he left to play Dota 2. I mean Dota University League. I'm gonna call you out on that, Cabbage. By the way, yeah. Also shout out to Praise's mom, by the way. Okay.
nice.
Why?
Okay,
She
but yeah,
supported
and
us
then
the whole
we got
way.
so we needed some stand-ins, right? And so we just decided, let's just get some stand-ins from our friend group, which is Ankley and Beat, who couldn't make it here today as well. So we had to get a stand-in. So yeah, we're just a bit of a stand-in sort of team, but in the end, it was really cool. I had a lot of fun trying to organize my team up and stuff. Couldn't say we practiced too much, but you know what, we play together for fun anyway. So I think it's fine.
That's good to hear you enjoyed it. But in terms of you guys playing together, sort of your solo play and playing as a team, is there anything over the past 7 weeks you feel you've improved or learnt? Throughout your tournament?
I actually gained like 600 MMR during the tournament. By the way, that was sick. So I can say thank you, tournament, for getting me 600 MMR.
I think that
I'm still terrible.
Okay.
I think that our team
Okay.
cohesion got a lot better over the weeks, and like our general.
Yeah. Like initially we didn't have this strat of
we were
I
all
think
over
we're
the
strong.
place to start with, but we started.
Yeah. Like
getting
initially
better
we weren't thinking, actually
out
we're
what
strong
we're
at
trying to do.
defending tier 2s.
Yeah.
Like that's that. And then we found the strat, and it actually worked really well. I'm really proud that we found like a strat that works for us, and yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really great to hear. You feel you've improved your gameplay and playing together in a group. I guess similar question then over to Team 4. How have you guys found the past 7 weeks? And one thing in particular, there's been a rumor going around you'd like a rematch with TSX. Is there any update on that?
I mean, that's exactly where I was going to start, actually. We'd
Yeah.
love to go back to the start of the tournament, basically, and give them a... Because that was the first time I'd played with you guys. Not even, never played in pubs or anything before with these guys. So, yeah, now that we kind of got a feel for how we play together, definitely would be open to having a rematch with them and trying our luck again.
M would get clapped. Just saying.
But
Like, it's quite funny because I played against M before in RD2L mid, clapped him every time mid, and so rather than trying to face me mid, he had to get somebody a bit better to do it, which I found quite funny. Oh.
Is there anything you guys sort of I guess maybe a bit more individually you've learnt about the game, or playing in a group? Is there anything the past 7 weeks which has really helped you? Anything really in particular, I guess, that's helped you improve at all?
Yeah, Blam Bam Platyman's Earth Spirit every single time.
I've
hero
played
is
it once. The whole tournament, I've been able to play it once.
It's
not
ridiculous.
fair.
There's a reason he gets banned though.
Hero's broken.
Well, now you know how Lekandor feels when Pango gets banned every game.
Yeah, true.
I mean, yeah, I felt the fact that don't play
Yeah. Now I know how I feel when techies gets banned.
No, there's a difference between techies getting banned and a Pango getting banned. A techies changes the game to being this sort of unplayable, unfun game there where
What do you
you're
mean? It's
careful
fun
about...
for me.
Oh, jeez. I'm just getting PTSD of every
And
single time I
I'm
played
sure
against
many
techies.
spectators at home were like, techies, yeah, that's what I want to see.
To be fair, techies make for a very enjoyable viewing experience.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'd rather see some Divine Rapiers flying around the game than Techies Mines, but that's just me.
Oh, what about Divine Rapier on techies, dude? That's how you roll.
Let's not even go there. And would any of the anyone, so Keo, I'm just trying to see who else, any of the casters want to ask any of the teams, or guys, have you got any thoughts you'd like to add at all?
I've got no thoughts, but I may have missed it. But did we talk about the Luna standing still at that time? Did we ever find out what happened there when?
No, you'll have to DM Mage.
Yeah,
He's in the
nobody
server.
knows. Mage
You can
left.
find Mage and.
All right, all
everything
right,
will
all
be-
right.
I think he's not here because of that. Oh yeah.
Well, we
Yeah,
did have to pause at the start of one of the games for him, so maybe he had other stuff.
The jury is still out as to exactly what happened there. Any of the guys in the teams, anything you want to sort of add before we sort of say goodbye for the last time?
Thank you for hosting a fun tournament. That was really quite fun.
Season
yeah,
2 when?
So is that season 2 when?
See you
Yeah.
season.
Keo is still
yeah.
in the channel. If he turns his mic on, maybe he can. I'm not saying anything. Keo's the one, or Reinhardt would be the one you need to speak to about that. I'm not committing to anything. I don't know if Keo wants to comment. I can see him in the channel, but he's keeping his mouth shut.
I can comment that. Like, first we want to have a break for maybe like 2 or 3 months. I think like maybe during the summer holiday, there's gonna be another season, but we haven't figured out a time yet because everyone needs to get some rest, especially Reinhardt.
Yeah, not surprised.
But yeah, we'll probably sort of wrap things up there then. So congratulations to Team 4 today for getting the win. If that rematch is going ahead against GSX, please post it somewhere, maybe in the Discord. We can watch that and see what happens there. But yeah, thank you for both teams for taking part today, and casters, coaches, everyone involved. Tomorrow, the very last game of the tournament, we'll see GSX taking on the Chicken Farmers, and that is at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. So if anyone's watching, you want to tune in, that's where you'll see it. But yeah, thank you again so much for everyone for taking part. It was great to have both teams and giving some really exciting games to watch today and over the course of the past 7 weeks. So yeah, we'll call it off then. Have a nice evening.
Keo says we're raiding someone, but he also said BRB. So I don't know what to do.
Let's just go back.
Oh, perfect.
It looks like the raid is starting, so.
Yep.
Does that automatically switch, or do I need to keep talking for another 60 seconds?
No, I can check it now. Let's go. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, we just called them out. Check league chat.